and this moment really cannot be overstated. The Prime Minister said that this moment is going to further Indian Sanskriti, is what he has said earlier, and it would also be an epochal moment as far as Indian progress is concerned. Now, speaking of the Prime Minister, remember he is going to be performing a lot of the ceremonies associated with Ram Lalla today, as the Ram Lalla Virajman, the new idol that has been placed in the Mandir, wakes up for the very first time in the new temple. Along with that, the existing Murti of the Ram Lalla that was in a makeshift temple for 75 years has also been shifted to the Garbhagriha of the new temple, and both of these Murtis, Ram Lalla itself, is going to wake up in a grand temple for the very first time. Remember, there's been a lot of belief associated with this site for 500 years. Of course, it was always worshipped as Ram Janamsthan, but the idol that existed all this while came up 75 years ago in this temple, which was a makeshift temple. Now there are two idols in the new temple. I want to go across to my colleague Aman Sharma, also joining us. Aman, a nice bright early morning to you as well. It's still dark in Ayodhya. The sun is yet to rise. But of course, we're all waiting for the Ram Lalla idols to wake up in the new grand temple today.
Yeah, well, absolutely, Shivani. That way, it's a big moment today. Last evening, in fact, the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, specially flew down to Ayodhya for this particular ceremony. He was there inside the Ram temple when, after the Shayan Aarti, the Ram Lalla Virajman, the original idol, was shifted in the Chief Minister's presence from the makeshift structure to the new temple. And this comes after 75 long years. We all know that in 1949, Ram Lalla Virajman had first appeared on the Ram Janambhoomi premises. Since then, he had been under a tent till 2020, before the Yogi government, after the Supreme Court verdict, made a makeshift structure where the idol was shifted. So Ram Lalla Virajman, his three brothers, Bharat, Lakshman and Shatrughan, their idols, as well as the idols of Lord Hanuman. All these idols, along with their Singhasan, have been shifted from the makeshift temple last night to the new temple. So the significance of this is that they are always shifted after the Shayan Aarti, after the Lord goes to sleep. So the Lord is sleeping right now, and he will wake up during Mangal Aarti today morning in the new grand temple. And one of the pujaris who is associated with the entire process, in fact, told me early today morning that आज भगवान भी हैरान और खुश हो जाएंगे इतने बड़े मंदिर में सुबह जागते हुए. आज तक वो टेंट में ही जागे थे. From today he is waking up in a big grand temple, and when the Prime Minister comes here around lands in Ayodhya around 10:30 and comes to the temple around 11 a.m. And the invitees who are coming here, they will get to see the darshan of both the new Lord Ram idol and the Ram Lalla Virajman, both in one frame, which will quite be a momentous sight, I think, for pilgrims and devotees coming from public viewing for tomorrow. And as we all know, that Ram Lalla Virajman, Shivani, is the entity that won the case, the judicial case for the Ram Janambhoomi. So the Ram Lalla Virajman, double victories today in that court verdict, and now coming in a grand new temple. Big momentous day for Ayodhya today, Shivani.
Absolutely. Now, Ayodhya, what it means to the city is something that is unimaginable. And of course, it's been gearing up for many months for this day. But speaking about the ceremonies that are involved today, the people will be there at the Garbhagriha especially. I want to go across to my other colleagues as well. Siddharth is also joining us, and with me is Payal Mehta as well. Siddharth, you know, it's going to be the Prime Minister, the UP Chief Minister, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat, and UP Governor. These are the main people who will be, inside the Sanctum Sanctorum as far as the ceremony is concerned. But there are, of course, 121 saints who are going to be overseeing this procedure. They have come from all parts of the country, from Kashi to Tamil Nadu. It really shows just how important Ram is to the entire country, goes beyond national borders really, and how big of a unifier Lord Ram is.
Well, yes, that's right, Shivani. Very good morning. Yes, we are at the entry of Rampath. In fact, Shivani, you can see this Toli has arrived from Mathura. the dance performances have already begun in Ayodhya ahead of the Prime Minister's arrival. So this is how the rampath is looking like right now at 6 a.m. in the morning, and in fact the people have come from various places to seek blessings of Ram Lala. In fact, a large number of people are present on rampath in the morning itself, and I would like to give a sense to our viewers that how rampath is looking like today. So you can see this Jai Shri Ram written with floral decoration, and in fact there is floral decoration on both sides of the road. In fact, these special decoration, light decorations have also been done till Ram Janmabhoomi and even beyond on the rampath. So this is the grand rampath, and in fact the vibe there's an effort that has been given to create a vibe as if the King Ram is returning to Ayodhya, and that was in the minds of the authorities here and the trust, and that is exactly followed here on ground. Even Shivani, today there's going to be the Pran Pratishtha of Lord Rama. Yesterday we talked about, then the idol was given bath in the waters that was collected from different Teeth Sthal in India. In fact, there were special flowers from Pune and Chennai, and through those flowers also those flowers were offered to God as an offering yesterday. Now today is the final stage of the Pran Pratishtha in the presence of Prime Minister Modi and the other dignitaries. Back to you.
Absolutely. Let's talk about those other dignitaries. Of course, the Prime Minister is going to be the Yajman of the ceremony, an occasion of he's been preparing for Payal for 11 days now. He's been holding an 11-day Anushthan. He's been visiting a lot of temples. He's been living an austere life, really minimalism at its core, preparing for this ceremony. And a lot of dignitaries will be joining him as far as the larger ceremony is concerned. All preparations have been done. As many as 7,000 invitees. Payal, give us a sense of the big names that will be here today.
Well, the Prime Minister, in fact, like you mentioned, has kept a very disciplined and a very minimal approach in the run-up to the consecration ceremony, which will take place in a couple of hours from now. Of course, a lot of dignitaries have been invited. A lot of dignitaries have, in fact, reached Ayodhya as well. Superstar Rajinikanth is already in Ayodhya. Sonu Nigam is already in Ayodhya. Anupum Kher is in Ayodhya. Several businessmen are also in Ayodhya. There have been a lot of invites that have been sent. So obviously, people are either choosing to come down to Ayodhya directly, or probably choosing to stay in Lucknow and come down to Ayodhya, but one thing one must also say, that there are a lot of common people, Shivani, even if they don't have permission, they're still hopeful that they'll be able to get some darshan, and they are here as well. भैया, आप झारखंड से आए हो, आप बताइए कि आपको तो परमिशन नहीं, आप कहाँ से जाओगे?
इंतजार करूंगा, कल तो दर्शन होगी।
आप बताइए, आप कितने दिन से यहाँ पे हैं और कितने दिन से आप कोशिश करें जाने की?
आज सुबह ही आए।
आपको पता था कि यहाँ पे परमिशन मिलेगी?
परमिशन तो नहीं, मैं रिक्वेस्ट करके यहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं।
जाने दिया आपको?
हाँ, जाने दिया।
ये राम क्या मायने रखते हैं लोगों के लिए इस देश में?
राम तो सब तो राम ही का है।
राम सबके हैं।
हाँ, राम सबके हैं।
Right, people are there, Shivani, they don't have permission because obviously it's a very, very strict security norm, and that's the reason. Let me just give you a sense of how this path is. I'm on Rampath right now. Everything is barricaded. In fact, these public also who are coming have been asked to just be on the sides. This entire road has been blocked, given the fact that there will be a lot of VIP movements, especially the Prime Minister. But it's beautiful decorations all along. There are flower decorations all around this region, even on the mid paths that you really see. A tremendous effort being made by the Ayodhya Municipal Corporation, essentially trying to make this a huge spectacle of sorts. Because remember, this is a big day for Ayodhya. It's probably like the biggest day in the lives of people of Ayodhya. Where they're waiting to see Prabhu Ram return to his abode, and after moving into a temporary shell many years ago, it seems finally it's a happy homecoming for Prabhu Ram. So we'll be bringing you all the updates from here on. But back to you, Shivani, for now.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned, what the significance and the impact of this day is going to be is yet to be fully deciphered. Of course, the verdict came in 2019, then in itself was a huge moment and a huge occasion, and that verdict meant that the Ram temple was going to come up. We've known that the Ram temple is coming up for the last 4 to 5 years. But still this day is extremely significant because the struggle of 500 years, during that struggle there were very few times that anybody could have predicted that something like this would happen. Let me reiterate, not just in Indian history, in the history globally, this is possibly the only example where the mark of invasion and of brutalization and of one-upmanship and of a subjugation of a native culture has been reclaimed, and this is what that moment means. But this 5-year-old struggle was also a large political movement. It gained a lot of significance during the 1980s and 1990s. There were a lot of untoward incidents that also took place. One of those instances was the UP government firing on car sevaks in 1990. I spoke to sister of Kothari brothers, Ram and Sharad, who were killed in that firing, Purnima Kothari. Let's listen to this conversation and what this Pran Pratishtha means today for her and her family.
This is quite an occasion, Purnima ji. I don't know आपकी क्या feelings हैं, आपके मन में क्या चल रहा है? 22 जनवरी को अब राम टेम्पल में प्राण प्रतिष्ठान होने वाला है.
जय श्री राम. मेरी आज जो फीलिंग है वो मैं ये कह सकती हूँ कि ऐसा महसूस हो रहा है कि प्रभु की असीम अनुकंपा मुझ पर बरस रही है. माता पिता का आशीर्वाद, भाइयों का आशीर्वाद मेरे साथ है. आज मैं प्रत्यक्ष इस मंदिर के उद्घाटन पर यहाँ मौजूद हूँ. सबसे बड़ी बात है कि आज मुझे ये लग रहा है कि आप अयोध्या की भूमि पर है, ये भी बहुत बड़ी बात है. जहाँ लाखों लोग आने को तरस रहे हैं, वहाँ आपको इस भूमि पर रहने का और आपको यहाँ सेवा करने का मौका मिल रहा है. मेरी पूरी राम शरद की टीम है जिनके साथ मैं यहाँ आई हुई हूँ. हम 50 लोग कलकत्ता से पहले चल के आए थे, फिर कुछ लोग गए और कुछ लोग वापस से आए. लगभग 100 लोगों की एक टीम बनी जिन्होंने मिलके ये 10 दिन का चाय नाश्ता दोनों का एक सेवा लगाया है. सेवा से
कभी आपकी या अपनी फैमिली ने सोचा था ये दिन आएगा? क्योंकि बहुत लोगों को नहीं लगता था कि मंदिर बनेगा.
देखिए, बनेगा ये तो पूर्ण विश्वास था कि,
लेकिन आपके जन्म में
हाँ, 500 वर्षों का संघर्ष का इतिहास है. 500 वर्ष तक अगर आप एक मंदिर के लिए संघर्ष कर सकते हैं तो आप उसे बनाने की भी पूरी ताकत रखते हैं. आज नहीं कल बनेगा. हाँ, ये जरूर आप बोल सकती है कि मैं अपने जीते जी देख पाऊंगी. हाँ. इसकी आशा पहले छीन थी. 2014 से पहले सच कहूँ तो छीन थी. फिर मोदी जी बने तो एक मन में आशा जगी.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं आपके साथ पूजा. एक बार फिर हमारी वर्चुअल दुनिया में आपका बहुत स्वागत है. राम मंदिर पर सबसे बड़ी कवरेज में हमने आपको बेहतरीन टेक्नोलॉजी के जरिए अयोध्या के दर्शन कराए. लघु पुष्पक में बैठकर आपने अयोध्या धाम को देखा और अब हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं करोड़ों राम भक्तों की आस्था और भावना को एक और रूप देने का. जी हाँ, और इसी कड़ी में मैं इस वक्त मणि पर्वत पर पहुंच चुकी हूं. अयोध्या का ये वही मणि पर्वत है जिसके बारे में कई मान्यताएं हैं. पीछे आप देख पा रहे होंगे वो राम मंदिर जो अभी निर्माणाधीन है. जब पूरी तरीके से बन जाएगा तो कुछ ऐसा ही दिखेगा. मणि पर्वत के बारे में कहा यह जाता है कि राजा जनक ने अयोध्या में इतनी मणियां भेजी कि उसके ढेर से ये पर्वत बन गया और इसी पर इस वक्त हम खड़े हैं. तो प्रभु राम जिनकी जगह देश के दिल में है, राम भक्तों की आस्था को आज हम टेक्नोलॉजी के जरिए एक बार फिर से मूर्त रूप देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. और सोचिए, जब प्रभु राम अपने पुष्पक से अयोध्या वापस लौटे होंगे तो उस वक्त क्या नजारा रहा होगा. एक बार फिर से वो अयोध्या वापस लौट रहे हैं, अपनी नगरी में आ रहे हैं जहां उनका जन्म हुआ, जहां भव्य दिव्य मंदिर बन रहा है. तो पुष्पक से जब वो लौटे क्या नजारा रहा होगा, यही हम आपको दिखाने की कोशिश करेंगे. और इसके लिए जरा आपको नजरें ऊपर की तरफ करनी पड़ेगी क्योंकि जो पुष्पक विमान है जिससे प्रभु राम आए थे वो ऊपर वहां आसमान में अभी आपको दिखेगा और वहीं से वो नीचे उतरेगा. देखिए, ये भव्य और दिव्य पुष्पक विमान ये देखिए यहाँ उतर रहा है. और पुष्पक कुबेर का ये विशालकाय विमान बेहद सुंदर भव्य, जिसे रावण ने अपने भाई कुबेर से छीन लिया और रावण का अंत कर प्रभु राम उसी से अयोध्या लौटे. और आज अयोध्या में मौजूद हर भक्त, अयोध्या के बाहर मौजूद हर श्रद्धालु कुछ ऐसा ही महसूस कर पा रहे होंगे. और देखिए, ये धीरे धीरे जो है ये राम मंदिर की तरफ जा रहा है. यहाँ आप देखिए, राम मंदिर की तरफ बढ़ता हुआ आसमान में उड़ता ये पुष्पक विमान मंदिर की तरफ जा रहा है. और यहाँ जो नजारा आप देखेंगे वो बहुत दिव्य होने वाला है, भव्य होने वाला है. ये मंदिर जो बहुत जल्द बन जाएगा. देश के करोड़ों लोगों की आस्था को मानो प्रभु राम यहाँ पर खुद आशीर्वाद देने के लिए पहुंचे हैं। और देखिए, पुष्प की वर्षा शुरू हो चुकी है। तमाम देवी देवता इस वक्त कैसा महसूस कर रहे होंगे, तस्वीरें आप देखिए, आशीर्वाद दे रहे हैं। और ये भव्यता और दिव्यता अगर आप अयोध्या जाएंगे तो आपको महसूस होगी। 23 तारीख के बाद आप अयोध्या जाके दर्शन कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले टेक्नोलॉजी के जरिए आप इसे देखिए। प्रभु राम की कृपा यहाँ पर आपको महसूस होगी और हमने लोगों की इसी आस्था और भावना को टेक्नोलॉजी की मदद से आपको दिखाने की कोशिश की है। ये दिव्य और भव्य रूप राम मंदिर का, और इसके ऊपर खुद आशीर्वाद देते मानो प्रभु राम नजर आ रहे हैं।
इस दिन के इंतजार में दशकों से ये आंखें तरस गई, आएगा ये तो विश्वास था, अब जो तू यहाँ लौटा है।
स्वागत गान गाए जिसके लिए मन में गंगा जिसके हाथ में है, जीते भी मरते भी काम काज करते भी, सुख में दुख में हर एक मुख में गर जाएगी ना।
Well, a lot of celebrities have made their way. A lot of care has been taken in giving invitations to not just the saint and seer community from every samaj. There are going to be all mutts, etc. represented as far as the ceremony is concerned. But there's a lot of flavor of celebrities from the arts, the cinema and sports. The likes of MS Dhoni, Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli and wife Anushka Sharma all have been invited. You have the likes of Amitabh Bachchan, Rajnikant, Junior NTR, Chiranjeevi all invited. A lot of them have already landed in Ayodhya. And here at CNN News 18 we've been talking to a few of them as well. Take a look.
Before I talk to you about your latest film, because it is based on exactly the topic we're discussing today, I do want to ask you, last time when were you in Ayodhya? How different was the atmosphere when you came last to today?
I came in 2021 last. And before that I came 2014 and 15.
Right.
Absolutely 360-degree change I'm looking actually right now. The way the airport is, the railway station, it's out of this world. I'm telling you, जो रास्ते हैं, जो roads हैं, वो इतने अद्भुत हैं कि जो संकरे रोड थे वो प्रशस्त हो गए. It's 90 feet roads. And this is like and today's Vatavaran of Ayodhya.
Ji, actually more than that, more than the roads or the or the airport or the railway station, जो एटमॉस्फेयर आज अयोध्या में है वो सबसे बड़ी बात है.
वो अयोध्या का जो वातावरण है आज का, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि त्रेता युग में जो अयोध्या का वातावरण रहा होगा
जी,
उसका ये अंश है. कि क्या है. एंड आई एम विटनेसिंग कि भारत के जितने भी उत्सव हैं वो सारे एक साथ मना रहे हैं लोग. कि कल राम लल्ला की प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हो रही है भव्य मंदिर में. एंड द ड्रीम इज कमिंग, मतलब वो अपनी आंखों से देखने वाले हैं उस स्टेज को. सो मुझे लगता है कि ये जो वातावरण है, ये जो एटमॉस्फियर है, we can't define into words. Words are very small actually in front of the situation and in front of the whole thing right now we are witnessing.
But अगर आप कोशिश करें तो किस तरह से डिस्क्राइब करेंगे, क्योंकि आपकी जो लेटेस्ट फिल्म भी आई है उसमें भी 500 साल की जो स्ट्रगल है उसको डिनोट किया गया है. 695 फिल्म है. 6 दिसंबर, 9 नवंबर और 5 अगस्त, ये 5 डेट्स जो बहुत की डेट्स हैं. लेकिन जो लोग अभी पिछले 20-30 सालों से देख रहे हैं उनको शायद थोड़ा बहुत समझ में भी आता होगा, नहीं आता होगा. आपको लगता है कि यंग जनरेशन को पता है कि ये क्या स्ट्रगल रही है?
नहीं पता है, इतनी पता नहीं है जो 25 साल के या 30 साल के हैं. क्योंकि ये आंदोलन तो मतलब 505 वर्ष की ऐतिहासिक संघर्ष की गाथा है ये फिल्म. लेकिन 80 से लेके 90 तक का जो वो कार्यकाल रहा, और उसके बाद जो कोर्ट केस का जो संघर्ष रहा, वो सारा संघर्ष जो है वो आज की यूथ को पता नहीं है. टुडे जनरेशन इज नॉट अवेयर what happened exactly. So I think Ram जन्मभूमि और उसकी जो संघर्ष गाथा है उसको वाचा देने वाली, उसके लिए बात करने वाली ये फिल्म है जो आज की पीढ़ी को समझना भी चाहिए कि क्या क्या हुआ था, कितनी भयानक तरीके से क्या क्या चीजें हुई थी.
Just tell us, what is the mood there in Ayodhya? What are you feeling right now as you are actually going to witness history as it unfolds firsthand?
I think the only way I can express that in the expression, the phrase that's flying through the airwaves, you can breathe that in the air in Ayodhya right now, is Jai Shri Ram, Jai Jai Shri Ram. It's very interesting, where it seems like a spiritual high. I was just by the banks of the Saryu Nadi, and I had gone there physically to do a couple of live talks, and that kind of outpouring of joy beyond geography, beyond caste, creed, community, even sometimes religion and color. It's crazy to see humanity come together like that, so excited, so ignited, and yet in a strange way peaceful and calm. And I think that's the only the magic of Ram can do something like that, where normally when something's ignited, passions are ignited, you're worried about tensions, you're worried about clashes and conflicts, but it's the opposite. You know, these passions are ignited, there's a fire that's catching everybody, but yes, there's a calmness around it, there's a constructive, contributive mindset, a celebration of humanity and harmony, if I can put it like that.
Tell me about that a little more, because clearly it's like a Rashtra Parv, it's like a national festival. There's emotions that are flying around, and yet it's all peaceful. There is a certain serenity, there is a certain calmness. Why is that? What would you attribute that to?
So that's exactly my observation, like I mentioned earlier. I think that's the power of Ram. Ram has always been a unifier. We can celebrate this as a personal celebration. You can celebrate this as a societal celebration. You can celebrate this as a celebration of Ram Bhakts, of Hindus, of the nation. But you can also celebrate this as a celebration of the world, because what does Sri Ram mean in Indonesia? What does he mean in Thailand? What does he mean in Korea? What does he mean in Sri Lanka? What does he mean in Japan? Why are people celebrating this unifier that once this did the Ashwamedha and ruled the world as per our texts? So I think he ruled it with love. You don't really hear beyond the conflict with Ravan. You don't really hear much about Sri Ram saying that, okay, once the conflict with Ravan was over, he went about conquering all these lands like Alexander the Great. He was a unifier through love. He was a unifier through bringing people together. And in a strange way, he's doing the same thousands of years later. Now, 500 years later, the Ram Mandir is coming. And what are we seeing? If you mute out the rhetoric of the Hindu, Muslim politicization, if you remove away all that nonsense, you see the fabric of society coming together so beautifully, where Muslims are contributing and celebrating, Christians are celebrating and contributing towards the temple, celebrating with us. My friends, personally, I know so many who are so happy for us. And when the new masjid is being made, like-minded people like us are contributing. 40% of the contributions for the new masjid apparently have come from non-Muslims. And people are joyous about it. So I think this is bringing the fabric of society stronger together. You can politicize it as much as you want, but I think on the ground, behind all the nonsense, there's more unity, there's more love, peace and harmony.
खुश तो बहुत होंगे आप.
Yeah, Anand, absolutely thrilled, great euphoria and very happy.
You are also Ramumai. You also won lovely.
Yeah,
Ram.
Basically the hotel people, when I came over here, so they gave me this, and it was a welcome scarf, and very happy. It's written Jai Shri Ram all over, Shri Ram and all. Very nice.
How big is this moment? Were you ever involved with this entire struggle for Ram Janmabhoomi in your heart as a filmmaker, as an Indian citizen? Did you ever want to support it? Did you oppose it? Were you neutral to it?
No, it was like that. See, the faith and the conviction which all Hindus believed, we always wanted a Ram temple to be over there. And जैसे कहते हैं आस्था का ये है कि आस्था है इतने सालों से. And since 1991-92, when we hearing this about the Ram temple, and definitely everybody wanted a Ram temple to be over there in Ayodhya, because I think it's one of the very important thing in the Indian history for Ram, the kind of belief we have, the kind of respect we have for Maryada Purushottam Ram. So I think that was very, very essential. And I think it's a great, tomorrow is going to be a historical day. And I'm very happy, very privileged to be part of this event, going to witness. And I had come earlier also, in 2020 I came, when the temple was there in making. And 2023 also, last year, when I came for a UP summit, that time also I visited the Ram temple. So this is my third time, and this is the full time, like first time I'll be watching the it's a full Ram temple inauguration.
Let's also now cut across to some updates coming in. We brought you what the Prime Minister has said earlier. Now Yogi Adityanath, UP Chief Minister, who is also a very key figure as far as the ceremony is concerned today, has tweeted out saying that this is going to be an amazing supernatural moment today. A struggle of 500 years and the resolve of centuries that is being completed in the presence of the Prime Minister. Wait for Lord Ram to be finally over today. The country has become Ram-May, says Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. My colleague Aman Sharma continues to be with us. Aman, lots of preparations that have gone into the making of this moment, and of course this has been, if it's been the pleasure or the the privilege of the Prime Minister to be part of this ceremony, it's also been the privilege of Yogi Adityanath to be able to oversee this as UP Chief Minister.
Well, absolutely, Shivani. See, CM Yogi Adityanath and his guru, the entire Gorakhnath Peeth, has been closely associated with the Ram Janmabhoomi movement. So it is a special, big and emotional day for Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath as well. I think he's been here 4 times, I think, in the last 10 days to review. Last evening, even he'd come to do a last-minute check that everything is in order. And, I think for Yogi Adityanath, it's a huge day because it is under his reign as the Chief Minister. The entire Ram temple has come up, the entire construction has happened. He used to oversee, remain in close touch with the trust also. UP government has gone the extra mile to ensure that the temple comes up on time. All the logistical help is given. This whole renovation and rejuvenation of the Ayodhya city. Behind me you can see the Lata Chowk, be it the Ram Ki Pauri, be it the Rampath, Bhaktipath, Dharampath, the new roads, the widened roads which have been built, and you have also walked on those roads. Ayodhya is unrecognizable from what it was, I would say, like 4 years back. So there has been a massive development, and of course today we have the Prime Minister coming here, and it's an equally momentous day for the Prime Minister. We have seen him on this 11-day Anushthan, going to temples across the country. I would say it was like a pilgrimage tour to various temples and places associated with Lord Ram and Ramayana, taking that dip in Rameshwaram yesterday, momentous pictures. And the Prime Minister, finally, when he comes here today, he's landing at around 10:30. He'll be at the Ram Janmabhoomi premises around 11 a.m. After that, he's meeting the Shramjeevis.
Right. Yes. The Prime Minister will be meeting the Shramjeevis who have worked on the temple when he goes to any big event. Something that has involved large construction especially, he always meets and honors the Shramjeevis as well. I want to go across to my colleague Siddhant as well. Siddhant, you've been keeping a track of these developments, plus of course the process or the program exactly as far as today afternoon is concerned. Just run our viewers through what exactly is supposed to happen today.
Well, Shivani, right now Dharampath and Rampath is fully decked up. In fact, the final security check and police patrol is going on. We can expect the arrival of guests at around 9:30 ahead of the arrival of Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi is going to come to Ayodhya at around 10. As per the release from his office, he's going to meet Sham Jiviks and also he's going to go to Kabir Tila, a temple of Shiva which has been restored. That is in his schedule. And also very important point which has been highlighted in the release from the UP government as well as from the Prime Minister's office, that there is a participation of people from tribal community. There is a participation of people from various walks of life. Also, many Sant Prathas have also been invited. So, that is how this event is going to take place, the inauguration of Ram Temple. So we can expect at around 12, Prime Minister along with the other dignitaries will enter the temple inside the Sanctum Sanctorum. The procedures will take place and the main points would be that Prime Minister will put Kajal to Lord Rama. He will open the blindfold and he will also show mirror to Lord Rama. So this is how the procedures will take place. In fact, Shivani, if I talk about what happened yesterday, yesterday's procedures were very significant, as yesterday was a semi-final of Pran Pratishtha. So Lord was given bath in the waters which have been collected from various Tirth Sthal of India. In fact, there were special flowers which were brought from Pune and Chennai. Those were also put as an offering to Lord, and the Chief Judgeman Anil Mishra and his wife were present for the Anushtans and Havan. So it started on 16th of January, the Pran Pratishtha process from the banks of river Saryu, and today it will be concluded. It will come to an end, and the Pran Pratishtha will get over once Prime Minister will show the mirror, will put Kajal and also open the blindfold of Ram Lalla. Back to you.
Yes. For anyone who's still unaware of what the Pran Pratishtha is or why this is needed is because the deity is supposed to be infused in any idol that you worship. And while there is an existing deity and idol, because a new idol has also been placed in the new temple, that is why this ceremony is now important and relevant. But the old idol, the existing idol, is also going to be in the Garbhagriha of the new Mandir, and it is also going to be worshipped forever along with the new idol. The new idol was obviously sculpted by Mysuru sculptor Arun Yogiraj in black stone granite. It's a 5-year-old depiction of Lord Ram, and it has been chosen, one says, because there were 3 idols commissioned that the trust wanted to choose from options from. And Arun Yogiraj's idol has been selected because it is said that the face that he has depicted with the innocence but also the divinity of a 5-year-old Lord Ram was perhaps the best, and that is why this idol was chosen over others. I want to go across to my colleague Payal. Payal, a lot of programs, big and small programs, people in a way trying to celebrate in their own way. Where are you right now, and tell us what's happening around you?
Well, I'm at Rampath right now, and it's a celebration of sorts, and there's this bhajan mandali which has come all the way from Madhya Pradesh, and let's allow our viewers to first soak into what they want to really present. Sir, आप भजन गा सकते हैं.
जय श्री राम. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. श्री राम जय जय राम. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. श्री राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
While they continue to sing, there are women who are coming here to perform कर सकते हैं.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. श्री राम
Shivani, today is not about speaking anything. Today is not about a day to pass any comments. It's just about a day of celebration, and everybody around here is celebrating in some way or the other. This lady who you can see in front of us is coming from Yogi Adityanath's home constituency, Gorakhpur, and she in fact trains a lot of women from the backward community in dance as well. आप बताइए, आप जनजाति के महिलाओं को ट्रेन करती है
डांस, फैशन शो, ड्रामा, एक्टिंग।
कहाँ से आप कह रहे थे कि योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने आपकी?
मैं वनटांगिया कम्युनिटी पे वर्क कर रही हूँ। उन्होंने हमारे सीएम सर ने अडॉप्ट कर रखा है और उनको लेके मैं कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज़ में आती हूँ, फैशन शो, लोक नृत्य सिखाती हूँ, ड्रामा सिखाती हूँ और हमारी सरकार हमारी बहुत साथ दे रही है। हमें जगह जगह स्टेज पे
वासियों के लिए कितना बड़ा दिन है और यूपी वासियों के लिए कितना बड़ा दिन है, भारत वासियों के लिए?
लाइक हम लोग का जीवन सफल हो गया है। मतलब एज अ कलाकार अगर हमें 22 तारीख को प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के दिन मौका दिया सरकार ने अपना कला प्रदर्शन करने का, तो मेरे साथ जितने भी कलाकार हैं वो मतलब जीते जी स्वर्ग की प्राप्ति हो गई है।
आप मध्य प्रदेश से आए हो। मध्य प्रदेश में कई सारे ऐसे स्थान हैं जिनको पूरी देश और दुनिया जानती है। राम, आज के दिन में राम क्या मायने रखते हैं भारत के लोगों के लिए और विश्व भर के लिए?
आज के दिन राम जी आज बहुत ही मायने, हम मतलब कह नहीं सकते हैं कि अयोध्या में ऐसा भव्य कार्यक्रम रहेगा, प्रतिष्ठा रहेगी राम जी की, ऐसा कभी सुना। ये मेहंदी घर से और राम जी के आगमन की खुशी में
शादी के जैसा माहौल है।
जी बिल्कुल, शादी का माहौल जैसे हमारे घर में शादी ब्याह रहती है और उत्साह के साथ में रहते हैं, उसी उत्साह के साथ में हम आए।
Well, of course, Shivani, people, whether it's a celebrities or whether it's a common man, they've come in, अपनी श्रद्धा से सब आए हैं, because they all believe that राम सबके और सब में राम है. That's the kind of celebrity mood. It looks like a wedding sort of a mood that you see in Ayodhya here, even as we report. And of course, it's still dark. We can also show you that the Prime Minister's security is on that path. They are actually inspecting the entire path, and probably in a bit from now, the Prime Minister's security will block this entire area for access as far as people is concerned. So obviously it's a huge occasion for this temple town of Ayodhya, which is bracing up for one of its biggest day in the history of 500 years or so. Shivani, back to you.
Yeah, but Payal, I was about to ask you exactly this. How many people do you see around you? Because there are a few key arterial roads in Ayodhya that lead to the Ram temple, and all of them were, I believe, were supposed to be completely sanitized ahead of the Prime Minister's arrival. So, how close are people being allowed to come today, and how many people do you see around you?
There are very few people who are being allowed, and all of these people who are allowed are probably artists who already have a permission, to actually come and perform over here. There are various stages that have been set up over here for their performance. So that's where they're going to be in a bit from now. But yes, the security is very tight, and the access is minimum, and only those people who have a valid car pass are being allowed. In fact, we also have to walk about 500 meters from the last sort of chalk, because they said that they wouldn't allow us beyond a certain point as well. So obviously security, we are taking no chances, and in a bit from now, probably in another half an hour, 45 minutes, this entire stretch where I'm standing at will be sanitized, because the Prime Minister's security will take over the premises, because the Prime Minister is expected to take this route to go to the temple, is what we are given to understand. But yes, it's beautifully decorated, even though there have been barricades that have been put in place. So if any common person is trying to walk, they have to walk past those barricades. Nobody is allowed to be on the main road, that we are standing on. But obviously, they will be making it more and more stricter and more tighter as the time progresses, and as we approach the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha period.
Right. We'll keep coming back to Payal and others. We'll slip into a very short break, but remember, don't go anywhere. We have lots more lined up for you, a lot of special conversations, and of course, our biggest team of reporters is continuing to get you live coverage from across all vantage points in Ayodhya. In fact, we'll go across the country as well and get you more reactions in just a bit.
इस दिन के इंतजार में अशकों से ये आंखें तरस गई आएगा ये
पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। राम सिया राम सिया बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की प्रणाम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण। बोलो राम सिया राम सिया राम। प्रणाम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण। बोलो राम सिया राम सिया राम। आया खुशियों का दिन सुहाना, लौटा है अपना रामा, अयोध्या फिर से सजा। सुनो हो रहा है ये हल्ला, बैठेंगे राम लल्ला फिर वहाँ। सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण। बोलो राम सिया राम सिया राम। हर 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 दर पे दिया तू जला दे, चल थल सरहद पे भगवान लहरा दे। आया है छाया है मन में समाया है, यहाँ भी वहाँ भी जाए तू जहाँ भी कूदे। पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। राम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण। बोलो राम सिया राम सिया राम। राम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण। बोलो राम सिया राम सिया राम।
इस दिन के इंतजार में दशकों से ये आंखें तरस गई। आएगा ये तो विश्वास था, अब जो तू यहाँ लौटा है।
स्वागत गान गाए जिसके लिए, मन में गंगा जिसके हाथ में है। जीते भी मरते भी काम काज करते भी, सुख में दुख में हर एक मुख में गर जाएगी राम। पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। राम सिया राम किया बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की प्रणाम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण। बोलो राम सिया राम सिया राम। प्रणाम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण। बोलो राम सिया राम सिया राम। आया खुशियों का दिन सुहाना, लौटा है अपना रामा, अयोध्या फिर से सजा। सुनो हो रहा है ये हल्ला, बैठेंगे राम लल्ला फिर वहाँ। सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण। बोलो राम सिया राम सिया राम। हर 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 दर पे दिया तू जला दे, चल थल सरहद पे भगवान लहरा दे। आया है छाया है मन में समाया है, यहाँ भी वहाँ भी जाए तू जहाँ भी कूदे। पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। राम सिया राम सिया राम।
Thanks a lot for staying with us. Now, as far as the Pran Pratishtha ceremony is concerned, we've seen the build-up also being marred by a lot of politics, which was possibly expected as well. A lot of the opposition parties who were invited, their chiefs were invited for the ceremony, have declined the invitation. And a lot of the India Alliance parties have in a chorus said that this is a BJP RSS event, and therefore we wouldn't like to be part of this event. We would go and do darshan, some have said, later, because they always claim that the BJP RSS are trying to completely claim Lord Ram and his legacy as their own. They appropriate Lord Ram. Of course, it has met with its own reaction from the BJP, but within the Congress party especially, interesting thing is that there are differing voices, including a voice like Pramod Krishnan, who's actually now come out and publicly said that had it not been for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, neither the Supreme Court verdict would have come nor a Ram temple would have been built. We spoke to Pramod Krishnan exclusively here on CNN News 18. That and more on the political side of it is coming up.
मंदिर का जो निर्माण हुआ ये अदालत के फैसले से हुआ है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने फैसला दिया और भगवान श्री राम की जन्मभूमि के मंदिर का निर्माण शुरू हुआ। ये बात ठीक है कि मंदिर का निर्माण अदालत के फैसले से हो रहा है और हुआ, लेकिन अगर मोदी देश के प्रधानमंत्री ना होते, अगर देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की जगह कोई और होते तो ये फैसला ना हो पाता और ये मंदिर ना बन पाता।
आज तो मोहन भागवत जी ने भी एक लेख लिखा है, बोला है कि देखिए जो पुरानी बातें हो गई उनको भूला जाए, कटुता भूली जाए, एक तरह से पुराने विवाद अब ये जो है इस पे खत्म हो, क्योंकि एक बड़ा दिन आ रहा है।
बिल्कुल सही है। बीती ताही विसारना, ये तो हमें कहावतों में बताया गया है। अपने ही दांतों में अपनी जीभ कट गई, ऐसा जो युग था उसको याद करके दांत तोड़ देने की बात कोई करेगा तो वो तो मूर्ख होगा। इसलिए हम प्रेम से, स्नेह से सबको आमंत्रित करते हैं। अखिलेश जी ने कहा वो बाद में आएंगे, हम स्वागत करते हैं। शरद यादव ने कहा, केजरीवाल ने कहा,
शरद
पवार जी ने कहा आएंगे। सबका स्वागत है, सब आइए और राम जी की कृपा से, उनके प्रेम से अभिभूत होइए और मिलकर हम आगे बढ़ेंगे।
तो अखिलेश जी ने और शरद पवार जी ने एक तरह से कहा हम आएंगे, पर कांग्रेस ने कुछ नहीं कहा।
कांग्रेस ने कहा बहुत जोर से। मुझे लगता है कि डिस्कनेक्ट है। ऊपर के लोग अहंकार की भाषा में बोलते हैं वी डिक्लाइन, पर उत्तर प्रदेश का सारा यूनिट इकट्ठा आता है, सरयू जी में स्नान करके रामलला के दर्शन करता है। तो मुझे लगता है कि लीडरशिप का इट हैज़ लॉस्ट इट्स टच विद इट्स रैंक एंड फाइल। द रैंक एंड फाइल इज विद रामलला।
Aman, my colleague, also continues to be with us. Aman, it was a difficult decision for the opposition parties. They were in a conundrum of sorts whether to go or not. Unfortunately, though, a lot of them ultimately deciding not to go. Whether this impacts, what happens in the upcoming elections or not, we'll wait and see. But certainly it has left a bad taste in many people's mouths, because this was meant to be an occasion where the entire country could have come together.
Well, absolutely, Shivani. And if you speak, go around Ayodhya and speak to devotees, who've come from all parts of the country and ask them about this part, that though Congress is not coming, Congress declined the invitation, people are very upset about it. See, people say that this is not a BJP event, not an RSS event, not even a trust event. This is an event of Lord Ram. If you have devotion in Lord Ram, who would not want to come for the Pran Pratishtha ceremony of the new Ram temple after a struggle of 500 long years? If you don't want to come, people here say that this shows that maybe you don't have astha in Lord Ram, or you're trying to play politics over it. The Congress stand has been that this is a political event converted into a political event. That's what the Congress says, by the BJP and the RSS, and they won't be a part of it. While the other parties of the India Alliance have spoken in different tones. Akhilesh Yadav put out a slightly more nuanced statement where he said that I am pleased that I've got an invite, I believe in Lord Ram, but I will come on a later date. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal said, okay, I've got an invite, but it's just for me. I want to come for my entire family, so I will come at a later date. So RJD, Tejasvi Yadav, Mamata Banerjee, all have spoken in a way different tones. Some have partially accepted the invite and said they'll come later. Some have outrightly rejected it. Of course, in the upcoming election, this is going to be an issue, and I think post today, after the Pran Pratishtha ceremony is over, you could see BJP leaders going very aggressively at this and look at these are the parties who were invited. Everyone was invited. The head of every political party was invited for this function, but people chose not to came. So people, the electorate, when these parties go to seek votes from the electorate, especially in the heartland, later in a couple of months, this issue is going to come to the forefront, and we've already seen, Shivani, that confusion in the Congress party. As Alok Kumar was just saying to us in that interview, that Congress very vehemently said that they are not going to come, and then we saw a UP Congress delegation come, the 15th of January, take a dip in the Saryu and go around the city. So he said the Congress is also confused, even some state Congress leaders, and the rank on the file of the Congress maybe is not pleased with the Congress High Command's decision to not associate with the January 22 ceremony, and they feel the unease because they have to go to the ground in another 2 months to seek votes from the electorate. And I'm sure the BJP will tell the people that look, this is the same Congress party when invited for the Pran Pratishtha did not turn up, and this is why they've had a history of not showing Astha in Lord Ram, from that famous affidavit in the Supreme Court on the Ram Setu issue, or Congress lawyer telling the Supreme Court to delay the trial in the case. All these things have now combined, I think, a big headache for the Congress ahead of the election, Shivani.
Yeah, absolutely. What impact this will have on the elections is something we'll of course discuss post the event. Today, of course, it is a moment to just relish, to celebrate the occasion that it is. In a bit from now, a lot of activities will kick-start in Ayodhya. And after a very short break, we'll get you more from on ground. The sun is just about rising in Ayodhya, so stay with us because it's going to be a big day. The sun is rising on what is going to be a golden lettered day in Indian history.
प्रधानमंत्री
इस दिन के इंतजार में दशकों से ये आंखें तरस गई आएगा ये तो विश्वास था अब जो तो यहाँ लौटा है
स्वागत गान गाए जिसके लिए मन में गंगा जिसके हाथ में है जीते भी मरते भी काम काज करते भी सुख में दुख में हर एक मुख में गर जाएगी राम पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम राम सिया
बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की
प्रणाम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण बोलो राम सिया राम प्रणाम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण बोलो राम सिया आया खुशियों का दिन सुहाना लौटा है अपना रामा अयोध्या फिर से सजा हो रहा है ये हल्ला बैठेंगे राम लल्ला फिर वहाँ हर 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 दर पे दिया तू जला दे चल थल सरहद पे भगवान लहरा दे आया है छाया है मन में समाया है यहाँ भी वहाँ भी जाए तू जहाँ भी गूंजे पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम राम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण राम सिया राम पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। राम सिया राम सिया
बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की
प्रणाम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण, बोलो राम सिया राम सिया राम। प्रणाम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण, बोलो राम सिया राम। आया खुशियों का दिन सुहाना, लौटा है अपना रामा, अयोध्या फिर से सजा। सुनो हो रहा है ये हल्ला, बैठेंगे राम लल्ला। युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। राम सिया राम।
Good morning, everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Shivani Gupta, joining you live from Ayodhya. This is the city to be, the place to be today. January 22, a day that has been waited upon for quite some time, is finally here. And in a bit from now, the ceremony of the Pran Pratishtha of new Ramlala idol in the new Ram temple in Ayodhya will begin. The Prime Minister will be landing a short while from now. Of course, UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is another key figure as far as the organization of this day and the ceremony later today is concerned. He's been taking stock of the situation since last evening in the city. The city is all set, it's all geared up. There's going to be, of course, Prime Minister arriving at the temple. The Pran Pratishtha is going to take place from 12 noon to about 12:55. The Muhurat, when the Pran Pratishtha is supposed to complete or conclude, is about 84 seconds. Precise calculations have been done. After that, the Prime Minister will also visit the Kuber Tila, the ancient Lord Shiva temple in the complex that has been reconstructed, along with the other facets of the temple complex. But we'll get you all of those details in just a bit. My colleagues from across the city and across the country will be joining us for our non-stop coverage. Stay with us here on CNN News 18. Let's go across to my colleagues Aman Sharma and Siddhant Mishra joining us. They've been keeping a stock of the situation in Ayodhya. Aman, coming to you first, just give me a sense of where you are and what's happening around you. What is expected as far as the precise ceremony later today is concerned?
Well, Shivani, I'm at the Lata Mangeshkar Choraha, this new refurbished Choraha, which has become quite a selfie attraction. Here I've seen people hoarding here, coming here daily, taking selfies, posting them all over social media. Even the Prime Minister and Yogi Adityanath have taken selfies here. So nobody's really escaped the beauty and the aura of the Lata Mangeshkar Chowk and the giant Veena here, and the mood, Shivani, is very, very festive. of course, there are lesser people on the roads today because, of course, there are restrictions here today. So people can't really go all the way to the Ram Temple any longer. Ram Temple also is closed today. So devotees also know that the Prime Minister is coming. The route will be sealed for a while, in a bit, by the SPG and the PM security team. So Prime Minister, the exact schedule for today, Shivani, the Prime Minister is expected to fly directly to the Ayodhya airport. He's landing here about 10:30 a.m. At about 11 a.m., the Prime Minister will be inside the Ram Janambhoomi premises for an hour. From 11 a.m. to noon, PM is expected to do various activities inside the Ram Janambhoomi premises. This includes taking a round of the entire area. He would be meeting the Shramjeevis, the workers, the laborers who have worked on the Ram Temple for the last 3 years, some workers from the L&T, other workers who are here. He will be interacting with them as well. The Pran Pratishtha ceremony begins around 12:05 p.m. when the Prime Minister enters the Garbhagriha along with other dignitaries and the priests from Varanasi who have specially come here for the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. The Pran Pratishtha ceremony, the final ritual of removing the patti from the eyes of Lord Ram idol. The Prime Minister will use a sone ki tar to put kajal in the eyes of the Lord, and he would be showing a darpan, a mirror, to Lord Ram. That will be the entire Pran Pratishtha ceremony, lasting about 40 to 45 minutes. Quite a sight. Prime Minister is the Yajman today for the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. Post that, Shivani, he would be coming out of the Garbhagriha, addressing all the 8,000, 9,000 odd invitees for the function today, as well as that address will be televised, of course, to across the country and across the world. Expected to be one of the most sought after, watched televised address today. Prime Minister will be speaking. Mr. Mohan Bhagwat would be speaking. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath would be speaking. We are expecting them to recall the entire 500-year-long struggle for the Ram Temple, the entire history, the emotions of the day, and how a grand Ram Temple has come within 3 years. There will be a push varsha, we have heard, over the entire Ram Temple premises by helicopters at this moment. After that, the Prime Minister is going on a very interesting visit to Kuber Tila, Shivani, which is the ancient Lord Shiva temple. The belief is that Lord Ram had built this Shivling before going on exile. So Lord Bholenath has always resided very close to where Lord Ram was born, and this temple has also been refurbished. So the Prime Minister will be going to Kuber Tila, praying there as well. So Prime Minister is praying both to Lord Ram as well as Lord Shiva today in his 5-hour-long visit, to Ayodhya. He is expected to fly out, Shivani, by around 3:30 p.m. Back to Delhi.
Right. Speaking of who's going to be there for the ceremony today, now one of the contentious issues, that came up as far as the run-up to the ceremony is concerned, it was exactly who all are invited, particularly as far as the BJP's leaders are concerned. One of those names is, of course, LK Advani, a name that is very intrinsically linked to the Ram Janambhoomi movement. He was the man, of course, the BJP leader who brought it center stage in the late 1980s and 90s with his Rath Yatra. Current Prime Minister Narendra Modi was, with him at that time, and he was organizing those yatras as well. But initially there was a doubt whether he would come, not come. After the trust suggested that, because of his age, we don't expect him to come, it was announced that no, he has been invited, he's expected to come. Now we're getting news that actually LK Advani will not be present for the ceremony, but that is because even though he was assured of special arrangements because of his age-related issues, the extreme weather conditions that are prevailing in northern India, including in Ayodhya, are preventing him from coming. Alongside that is also the update coming in from the RSS. The RSS website has Mohan Bhagwat, the organization chief, talking about the struggle of the Hindu community to see the Ram temple in Ayodhya, and how with the culmination of this moment today, all of the bitterness and sometimes the fight that has ensued because of this should end. Let me go across with this for more on this to my colleague Payal as well. Payal, tell us more about what you're learning as far as LK Advani's decision is concerned.
Shivani, if you can repeat your question, please.
Yes, Payal, I know there's a lot of noise around you. You've been bringing us news about how LK Advani is unlikely to event. What more are you learning?
Well, Mr. L.K. Advani, one who has been the pioneer as far as this movement of Ram Janmabhoomi is concerned. Remember, he was invited by the VHP to come with the assurance that there will be separate arrangement which was made for him to be here because of the extreme weather conditions with the kind of crowd that are going to be there, 8,000 VIPs. But we are given to understand that he has declined the invitation as of now because he can't come here because of the extreme weather. It's extremely cold and L.K. Advani is nearly 95. And that's the reason he doesn't want to come here and doesn't want to take any risk is what we are given to understand. Although the invitation was extended to him personally with the assurance that all sort of arrangements will be made for him to come here and all precautions will be taken to give him a separate entry over here with the fact that he is very old, but he is somebody who has been the pioneer as far as this entire Ram Janmabhoomi movement is concerned, and he would have been somebody who would have been most happy to be here is what his office has been saying.
Right, Payal, we'll keep coming back to you for more as we build up to the ceremony itself, the arrival of the Prime Minister, and of course before that we'll start getting some more visuals of the latest that is taking place at the Ram Temple itself. Let's just listen into some latest reactions coming in as well.
मैं अयोध्या जी से आप सबको भगवान राम जी के प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के अवसर पे बहुत बहुत बधाइयाँ। हमारी तरफ से राम के थे राम के हैं हम राम के रहेंगे। पहले कहते थे खुद से अब दुनिया से कहेंगे राम के थे राम के हैं हम राम के रहेंगे। हमारी तरफ से भगवान राम की प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के अवसर पे बहुत बहुत बधाइयाँ।
पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम। राम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण बड़ा, राम सिया राम सिया राम। राम सिया राम किया विश्व कल्याण बड़ा, राम सिया राम सिया राम।
So ahead of this Pran Pratishtha ceremony, the President Draupadi Murmu has also written a letter addressed to the Prime Minister. She praised him for the 11-day Anushthan that he's been holding, called it the tapasya of sorts that the Prime Minister is doing ahead of this ceremony. Now the Anushthan in itself is a difficult exercise, given the duties of the Prime Minister, his hectic schedule, also weather that is prevailing currently. The Anushthan involves drinking only coconut water, sleeping on the floor, of course cautions and other cutbacks that you have to make as far as lifestyle is concerned. And the Prime Minister has been doing all of this while performing his duties. Alongside, he's been also visiting a lot of the temples associated with Lord Ram across the country, particularly in southern India. He has been visiting temples that play a significant role or have a significance in Lord Ram's life from the time when he was banished and he had to go to he had to go to MP for his Vanvas, to the times when he had to go fight Ravan in Lanka. There are a lot of markets in southern India, central and southern India, that are associated with Lord Ram, and the Prime Minister has been paying obeisance at these sites. My colleagues Siddhant and Aman continue to be with us. Siddhant, get a little bit more of that letter that the President has written to the Prime Minister.
Well, yes, that's right. There's a letter that has been written by President to the Prime Minister ahead of Pran Pratishtha. And in fact, Shivani, I would also like to point this out, what you were highlighting, that Prime Minister visited most of these temples, these holy places, which have roles to play in Prime Minister's, in Lord Ram's life. In fact, Shivani, if I talk about this Ram temple here in Ayodhya also, there are a lot of Dravidian practices. There are a lot of practices which are followed in Hindu culture in southern parts of India. are going to be practiced in Ram temple. In fact, from the perkota that is being built around the temple is a practice in the southern parts of India. At the same time, from tomorrow, Shivani, there is going to be a special Anushthan, a special puja, for which the pujaris, the saints are coming from Mysore, again southern part of India. And in fact, behind me, Shivani, I would like to highlight, that's a Narayan Tilak on rampath. So these Narayan Tilaks have been decorated after every few meters on rampath. This style of Narayan Tilak is again adapted, or this Narayan Tilak is inspired from the puja and the idols from southern parts of India. So and in fact we have been speaking to a lot of people coming from Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. They all are excited. So the narrative which people were trying to build, that Ram belongs to North India, Ram sabke nahi hai, that narrative has taken a hit, because the way it has been inculcated in this entire Ram Mandir complex, and in fact the other developmental work, it purely reflects that the whole of India could be seen here in Ayodhya. Back to you.
Right. It's not just about the whole of India alone, Aman. It's also, there are many countries actually associated very directly as far as Lord Ram's reign is concerned. And there are many countries where today, there is a form of Ramayana that is still celebrating. There are markers all around Southeast Asia. And a lot of such countries are also looking forward to the day's ceremony. There are actually not just, Indians overseas, NRIs or those of Indian origin, but a lot of public around the world that is looking forward to this event, from the Americas to the Africas to rest of Europe. But speaking of that Anushthan that the Prime Minister has been holding, the message particularly that he is sending, not just with that Anushthan, which the President praised him for, but also those visits to the temples down south.
Well, yes, Shivani, the 11-day Anushthan of the Prime Minister, which began, in fact, almost now 10 days back. No, it's very clear that the Prime Minister wanted to seep himself into this devotion for Lord Ram. People close to his team tell me that, the Prime Minister, it was his decision that I will do this Anushthan because I am going to go for this Pran Pratishtha ceremony. I'll be the Yajman there. So I will practice whatever tough rituals are there. I will go through each one of them. So he started his Anushthan by stopping to eat. He's been fasting, drinking only coconut water for the last 10 days. He's been sleeping on the floor by putting a blanket on the floor. He's been sleeping like that. He's been doing jap. He wakes up before sunrise, lights a lamp, sits in meditation, also stays silent, we have heard, for some part of the day. And then he decided to do this pilgrimage tour across the country. So, as part of his visits, which we have seen especially to South India, going to Panchvati or going to other parts of the country, going to Tamil Nadu, going to Kerala, going to Andhra Pradesh, all these states and Hindu locations which are very, very closely associated with Lord Ram, Lord Ramayana, and especially the dip in Rameshwaram, Shivani, which we saw 2 days back, are symbolic of the Prime Minister going to imbibe this devotion for Lord Ram, going to places which are closely associated with Lord Ram, the entire Ramayana, soak in that experience. And when we see the Prime Minister today in Ayodhya, he's coming after this whole 11-day Anushthan, which was he was guided by the saints and seers, and from the trust people have guided him on how to do this Anushthan. It's been quite a inspiring practice by him. In fact, I have met many people here, in Ayodhya, Shivani, telling me कि जब PM व्रत रख सकते हैं 11 दिन का, तो हम क्यों नहीं रखें? Many people, in fact, I know, went on a fast, learning that the PM is also on a fast. So that has been the kind of, inspiration that the PM has given. And when he comes for the final ceremony today, it's also a culmination of a big day for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has been, a vociferous supporter, I would say, of the entire Ram temple issue. In fact, when the trust was set up, the construction of that was, the responsibility of the construction was given to a close Prime Minister aide, Bitan Ripendra Mishra. This is how much the PM was invested in the whole exercise, that the temple should come up in time, temple should be bhavya. And I think Ripendra Mishra, Shivani, had told you in that interview that you did a month ago, that, the Prime Minister direction was simple, that Mandir bilkul bhavya hona chahiye. देख के ऐसे लगे कि मंदिर बहुत भव्य है, because all these 70 years people have seen Lord Ram under this small tent, a dirty tent, a makeshift tent. People want to see a complete transformation, and that is what I think has happened on the Prime Minister's directions in Ayodhya with Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, clearly following the Prime Minister's mantra. And today we see Ayodhya as a completely changed place. I will be not surprised in the next couple of months. You will see Ayodhya becoming a global spiritual destination. Already the trust is speaking about at least 1 lakh people coming here daily from tomorrow once the public darshan starts. So that is the kind of enthusiasm in Ayodhya. That is the kind of investment that the Prime Minister and the UP Chief Minister has shown to bring this transformation in Ayodhya, Shivani.
Right, absolutely. Well, I did visit the temple premises a couple of months ago, and it has really come up very fast. There's been a challenge for the workers. Work has been ongoing round the clock. Lots of workers, about 2,000, 3,000 workers have been working round the clock. And they had a deadline, and it was a tough deadline to meet. But, of course, the ground floor has been completed, the Garbhagriha has been readied, and Pran Pratishtha can take place. The first floor and the second floor will continue to be constructed. The larger complex will also take a little bit longer, possibly end of next year. And there's a lot of facets to this complex, a lot of smaller temples that are part of it. There's a boundary wall that goes all across it. So all of that will continue to happen. But meanwhile, their challenge will be to organize darshan, because from tomorrow onwards, the darshan for all devotees from across the country will happen in the new temple only. My colleague Payal has also been keeping a track of those developments and the challenge that Ayodhya will face, Payal, from tomorrow onwards. I do remember, as Aman mentioned, when I spoke to Nipendra Mishra, he said a lakh devotees would be coming, possibly more than that, every day from January 23. And they are expecting that actually a lot of people will come, not just from UP first, but from other parts of the country. That will be the kind of fervor that people will have, and that will be indeed a challenge for the city of Ayodhya.
Well, definitely it will be a challenge for the temple town of Ayodhya, given the fact that the BJP is going to make this into a campaign. Shivani, the BJP has asked all its chief ministers of the BJP ruled states to come here with their council of ministers to come and visit here, and most importantly, they have to bring public at large as well. That's the task that has been given out to all the BJP MPs across both houses as well, and we're given to understand that possibly they'll be arranging for at least 50,000 people to be brought in here every day for darshan. In fact, in the last cabinet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also told his cabinet ministers to come with them and to bring them to the Ram temple. So even if these people are coming by buses or coming by trains as well, all of this will have to be taken into account. Remember, the railways will be running special trains for this darshan over the next 2 months, because the BJP has given itself a target up to March, mid-March, to actually get at least 1 crore plus people to actually come and do darshan as well. So across the cities, across the towns, you will see more and more people really coming in. But it's very encouraging. If you've travelled across Ayodhya, which I'm sure you are also doing as we are, you will see a lot of construction which is happening, which clearly tells you that yes, there is scope for a lot of employment directly and indirectly. There's a scope for infrastructure. This is what Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been speaking about, Vikas and Vishwas, which means essentially, of course, Ram sabke hai, sab mein Ram hai. But iske alawa, what has to be done is there has to be employment which has to be generated. There has to be a lot of infrastructure which has to be put into place for this town of Ayodhya, which is now on the global map in the run-up to the big 2024 elections in particular as well. So obviously, all roads will lead to Ayodhya, but yes, every step is being taken to make sure that they try and make it, a comfortable stay for everybody. Today also 8,000 VIPs coming in. It's a huge task to brace for as far as Ayodhya is concerned. And that's the reason these 10 cities have come up. In Ayodhya, 2 of them have come up, which have about a decent amount of accommodation. There are hotels which are jam-packed. In fact, we've also, with our huge crew, have been also be able to get two hotels with a lot of difficulty. So that's the kind of rush that you're going to see in Ayodhya, not just today, but when the darshan opens up on the 25th for the public, that's the kind of rush that you're going to really see. It's going to be quite a task to brace up for. And of course, the state of UP and India has been singing that song, Shivani, saying Ram aayenge, but today they'll have to change that song saying that Ram aa gaye.
All right. Payal, Aman and Siddhant will continue to keep coming to you, but here at News 18 we've also created or recreated or presented to you in a new way what it will be like when the Pran Pratishtha is going to be taking place. So take a look at this special presentation.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं आपके साथ पूजा। एक बार फिर हमारी वर्चुअल दुनिया में आपका बहुत स्वागत है। राम मंदिर पर सबसे बड़ी कवरेज में हमने आपको बेहतरीन टेक्नोलॉजी के जरिए अयोध्या के दर्शन कराए। लघु पुष्पक में बैठकर आपने अयोध्या धाम को देखा और अब हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं करोड़ों राम भक्तों की आस्था और भावना को एक और रूप देने का। जी हां, और इसी कड़ी में मैं इस वक्त मणि पर्वत पर पहुंच चुकी हूं। अयोध्या का ये वही मणि पर्वत है जिसके बारे में कई मान्यताएं हैं। पीछे आप देख पा रहे होंगे वो राम मंदिर जो अभी निर्माणाधीन है। जब पूरी तरीके से बन जाएगा तो कुछ ऐसा ही दिखेगा। मणि पर्वत के बारे में कहा यह जाता है कि राजा जनक ने अयोध्या में इतनी मणियां भेजी कि उसके ढेर से ये पर्वत बन गया और इसी पर इस वक्त हम खड़े हैं। तो प्रभु राम जिनकी जगह देश के दिल में है, राम भक्तों की आस्था को आज हम टेक्नोलॉजी के जरिए एक बार फिर से मूर्त रूप देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और सोचिए, जब प्रभु राम अपने पुष्पक से अयोध्या वापस लौटे होंगे तो उस वक्त क्या नजारा रहा होगा। एक बार फिर से वो अयोध्या वापस लौट रहे हैं, अपनी नगरी में आ रहे हैं जहां उनका जन्म हुआ, जहां भव्य दिव्य मंदिर बन रहा है। तो पुष्पक से जब वो लौटे क्या नजारा रहा होगा, यही हम आपको दिखाने की कोशिश करेंगे। और इसके लिए जरा आपको नजरें ऊपर की तरफ करनी पड़ेगी, क्योंकि जो पुष्पक विमान है जिससे प्रभु राम आए थे वो ऊपर वहां आसमान में अभी आपको दिखेगा और वहीं से वो नीचे उतरेगा। देखिए, ये भव्य और दिव्य पुष्पक विमान ये देखिए यहाँ उतर रहा है। और पुष्पक कुबेर का ये विशालकाय विमान बेहद सुंदर भव्य, जिसे रावण ने अपने भाई कुबेर से छीन लिया और रावण का अंत कर प्रभु राम उसी से अयोध्या लौटे। और आज अयोध्या में मौजूद हर भक्त, अयोध्या के बाहर मौजूद हर श्रद्धालु कुछ ऐसा ही महसूस कर पा रहे होंगे। और देखिए, ये धीरे धीरे जो है ये राम मंदिर की तरफ जा रहा है। यहाँ आप देखिए, राम मंदिर की तरफ बढ़ता हुआ आसमान में उड़ता ये पुष्पक विमान मंदिर की तरफ जा रहा है। और यहाँ जो नजारा आप देखेंगे वो बहुत दिव्य होने वाला है, भव्य होने वाला है। ये मंदिर जो बहुत जल्द बन जाएगा। देश के करोड़ों लोगों की आस्था को मानो प्रभु राम यहाँ पर खुद आशीर्वाद देने के लिए पहुंचे हैं। और देखिए, पुष्प की वर्षा शुरू हो चुकी है। तमाम देवी देवता इस वक्त कैसा महसूस कर रहे होंगे, तस्वीरें आप देखिए, आशीर्वाद दे रहे हैं। और ये भव्यता और दिव्यता अगर आप अयोध्या जाएंगे तो आपको महसूस होगी। 23 तारीख के बाद आप अयोध्या जाके दर्शन कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले टेक्नोलॉजी के जरिए आप इसे देखिए। प्रभु राम की कृपा यहाँ पर आपको महसूस होगी। और हमने लोगों की इसी आस्था और भावना को टेक्नोलॉजी की मदद से आपको दिखाने की कोशिश की है। ये दिव्य और भव्य रूप राम मंदिर का, और इसके ऊपर खुद आशीर्वाद देते मानो प्रभु राम नजर आ रहे हैं।
And we'll continue to get you more of that, what Ayodhya will be like all through the day. And we're just about a couple of hours before the official ceremonies of sorts begin. They will begin even as the Prime Minister lands in Ayodhya. There's a lot of anticipation, of course, for all of that. And to take a look at how that anticipation is building up at Ram Ki Pauri, where a lot of people have been coming in, they've been taking part in Deepotsavs, they've been lighting adiyas, they've been singing and they've been dancing. I'm going across to my colleague Anand Narasimhan also joining us. Anand, what's the mood like where you are?
Well, it's bright and early. People are already here. You know, the biggest part is that although the media is supposed to have taken over all of Ram Ki Pauri, what one could see was there are thousands and thousands of people who have just come to Ayodhya without a pass, without any invitation. Just they know that they have no access to the Ram Mandir complex, but they just want to be in Ayodhya. I think that is something which is very, very special, and it says a lot. Yesterday, there were some amazing instances which happened, which were shared by people who we were speaking to, that so many people stopped by and gave them lift. A battery rickshaw guy took us to one point to the other and said, refused to take money from us, saying that you are all coming here for the work of Ram. So that kind of spirit which is percolating all across Ayodhya is something which is very, very special. And more importantly, somewhere the Prime Minister has made it a big, a mega spiritual journey for all of us. And I think we've been talking about it quite often. Standing at Ram Ki Pauri, I have come here when I was young, I have come here when I was a youth, and now I am coming here after the Bhumi Pujan and since Yogi Adityanath took over as Chief Minister. The transformation of Ayodhya is magical. Transformation of Ayodhya is unimaginary. One would even cringe to walk into some of the paths here. It was similar to what it was in Kashi, dilapidated, ekdam jaise kehte hain Hindi mein sankri galiyan, and it was and dirty, but it's just been spruced up. It's just been made so beautiful now. and that means that Ayodhya will boom as an economy. Look at what's happened with Kashi. It's a similar story unfolding for Ayodhya, and it's going to be bigger. That's what one believes. And the kind of infrastructure that's come out even in the last 2 years, between Bhumi Pujan to now, that is the 3.5 years, it's just been a phenomenal turnaround as far as infrastructure is concerned. And this is going to change the lives of Ayodhya Vasis. And that is something which people will not forget. More and then coming back to what the Prime Minister has done with his 11-day Anushthan and all, Shivani, I think we'll be talking endlessly about it, because it takes a huge amount of rigor. For us to get up at 4 a.m. and to be here at 6 a.m. has taken a certain kind of effort. To walk about 1.5 kilometers has taken a bit of an effort without having transport all around, because of the security drills, etc. Imagine the Prime Minister of the country is following a rigor which अच्छे अच्छों की हालत खराब हो जाती है, with the kind of responsibilities that he's actually shouldering, and the kind of schedule that he has. It's a punishing schedule that he has, and despite that he's not left his rigor. I think those are things which will stand out, and people are noticing it, feeling it, and they are also now being part of this entire spiritual journey. It's not the claiming of a deity getting his rights, it's the people of the country getting the rights that their Isht, whom they have named generations after, is finally getting his place. I think that is now percolating.
Absolutely. Rightful place for Lord Ram, that is what generations have been fighting for, and that is what is coming true. You know, it's actually quite interesting, because it's not as if the Ram temple has been announced today or has been fully completed today. We knew the Ram temple is coming up for the last 4 years since the verdict in 2019, but somehow this moment of the Pran Pratishtha has taken a life of its own, no pun intended, because this is the moment now from where the Ram temple will be thrown open. The doors will be thrown open to the devotees who will do the darshan now in this new Bhavya Ram temple, and that has been the desire of millions and millions. And mind you, it is not restricted to Indians alone. All across the world there is some fervor. Of course, amongst Hindus living overseas, countries where Ramayana is of great significance, NRIs, people of Indian origin, many across US, Europe, Africa and other continents have come together. In Australia, we will have a special live screening of the Pran Pratishtha ceremony at the Times Square. Eiffel Tower is decked up. Many smaller programs are being organized. Some believe that in US alone there are about 300 locations where the live telecast is going to take place, or some sort of screening is going to take place as well. Speaking of what's happening in the US, I want to go across to Jagjit Singh, who's joining us from Hanuman Temple in New York. Jagjit Singh, very good morning to you. It will be a different time zone for you, but for here in India and in Ayodhya, a new sun is rising. It's a new dawn as described by many. What are your thoughts today as we finally have the day upon us, January 22?
It's a resurgence of Sanatan Dharma, which we are all witnessing in our lifetimes, which we had never thought of, say, 10 years back, that we will be witness to this. And now, as we are witnessing this, roughly around 250,000 Sanatanis in New York, of which almost 130,000 live in Queens. They are all enthused in various temples, and you can see the chanting of Ram Dhun going on. And everybody, look at the excitement in the faces of people. Everybody. And the Pran Pratishtha here of the idols which take place tomorrow, as it happens in Ayodhya. Just now, we had the placement of yantras beneath the statues, and that is going on. The puja just finished, and the chanting of Ram Dhun will go on. And this is, see the joy
Jagjit Singh,
on the faces of the
what
people.
What is the sentiment in preparation and in anticipation for this event? What has been the sentiment amongst people in the US, particularly the Hindu community?
Everybody has geared up, and we have thousands of people coming here in the temple every day, because our thing started here on the 18th, along as was in Ayodhya. So since 18th, almost every day 1,000 people are coming in to seek the blessings, because see, it is once in a lifetime opportunity. That is what we told the devotees, and everybody is so enthused. It is almost 9 o'clock
at night here in New York, and today is a working day, but people are here. People are here. Normally speaking, people would have gone to sleep, but tomorrow being in the office and it's a wintry night, you have snow on the streets, but still, so many of us are all enthused and coming in to just take part in a ceremony which is happening in our lifetime. Everybody is so enthused. You can see the idols, with the eyes closed, blindfolded kind of, that is how they say it. And the devotees are all geared up to and waiting.
Right.
And
right.
it is perhaps
so
for the
what
first
are the
time.
what are the arrangements you have made as far as the ceremony itself is concerned? How are you going to watch it? Are people going to be staying up and watching it in New York and in other parts of America?
No, we have a live television here, and we'll be broadcasting, as it goes on, and the chanting will continue till 12:30 tomorrow in the morning. And people will be here taking part in it all over the night, and we'll witness whatever happens over a television, which is here. It has been put off now because the chanting is going on, so we did not want distraction there. But once that is, when there is a gap, we'll be showing it to the people directly as to what is happening all over the world and how you are portraying ourselves, the Sanatan Dharma, And we have priests coming here.
And Jagjit Singh, how are the people in America, not just Hindus, but Americans looking at this moment for India? Because in India it is being seen as a big civilizational marker, but how do Americans view it? What do they make of the fact that a grand new temple is being built for Lord Ram, and this has become a national event in India?
Yeah, in fact, today only, a rabbi, I had invited him, and a rabbi from Jewish community, he had come here, and he said that for a rabbi coming out of a synagogue to a Hindu temple, it is not easy. But we know what you are doing, and we are with peace, and we know that India at this point of time stands for peace. So we are with you. And we had, people from other communities, people from various unions, workers' unions who had come here, and even the consulate people were here to witness this. We are thankful to them, and we are thankful to everybody who has participated. And then we had priests come here, perform the task from Tiruchirappalli Sri Rangaswamy temple for doing this Pran Pratishtha, which is not an easy task. So you need experts for that. So we had 2 priests have come in from Tiruchirappalli temple to perform the task.
Jagjit Singh, I wish you all the best. Thanks a lot for joining us and bringing us those visuals from the Hanuman temple in New York, where people are gearing up for the Pran Pratishtha ceremony, and this would be something that would be happening in many other parts of the US as well. We will bring you more elements from Europe as well. Let's listen into some reactions we've been tracking.
I'd like to take this opportunity to wish the Indian diaspora around the world, particularly in New Zealand, the celebration of the inauguration of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. Congratulations to the Prime Minister Modi on the inauguration of Ram Mandir after 500 years. And I'd like to congratulate all of the Bharat on this amazing Mandir.
Everybody in India, including and especially Mr. Modi for his leadership, that has made this construction possible after 500 years, ready to last another 1,000 years. It's a testament to what people can do. So I wish Mr. Modi courage and wisdom as he helps over 1 billion people in India navigate the challenges of our world today. I hope that he will have strength and faith that allows him to see the challenges before they become crucial and wisely help the Indian nation navigate through them.
Namaste everyone. I just want to wish Mahesh and the Indian community here in South Africa all the best for the inauguration of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. May it bring peace, harmony and spiritual enlightenment to all. Jai Shri Ram.
Let's also take a look at how other parts of the world are preparing. My colleague Sanjay Suri is bringing you more from Europe.
Very extensive preparations are underway all around Britain to celebrate the opening of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. Simultaneous celebrations will be held at more than 300 temples across the country, and more than 200 Hindu organizations have issued a joint statement expressing joy and solidarity with the opening of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. Celebrations then at temples in Aberdeen in Scotland, in Cardiff in Wales, in Northern Ireland, all over London, all over Britain, right here in Wembley, and of course in Leicester, which is near Haridwar in Britain. This level of celebration is perhaps the biggest that we have seen among Hindus ever in Britain.
So we are so happy for the inauguration of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. 500 years we waited for this day. 76 battles or so. And so in the celebration and in happiness, all the Hindu communities of East London decided they will get together. Let's do a celebration where everyone enjoys.
So happy होने का पर्व है, ये प्रश्न ही आपका गलत है. आज तो हमारे राम भगवान हमारे घर पधारे हैं, मेरी चौखट पे यार चल के राम आए हैं. इससे
We're extremely proud of what's happening in India. We're extremely proud that the mandir is being built. The mandir has been built in India, and we're here to celebrate, to let India know the whole of the world is with them.
अयोध्या में राम पधारे, मेरे पितामह पधारे, ये उनका निमंत्रण है सबके लिए. अयोध्या से अक्षत यहाँ तक आए. वो चाहते हैं कि हम सब उनकी यहाँ पर बुलाएं अपने अपने घर में, और ये अक्षत का 2-2 दाना अपने जेब में रखें. हमेशा उनका आशीर्वाद रहेगा.
Well, there are many people from across the country that have been coming into Ayodhya. There are people we have met who have done a walking tour from far off places, walking hundreds of kilometers. Some have bicycled into the town of Ayodhya. Some have been rolling on the streets and coming to Ayodhya. There are people who have walked barefoot as well. My colleague Payal Mehta met one such special set of visitors, a father-son duo. Take a look at why they are special.
We have heard the stories about Shravan Kumar in the past, but you know, in the Kalyug, there's another Shravan Kumar that we're going to look at. This is the father and son duo who have come all the way from Nepal, which of course another huge Ram connection as well, because that is where Mata Sita hailed from. He's brought his father because the father has, has been able to bring his father here. आप बताओ आप कब पहुँचे हो अयोध्या?
सुबह के 5:30 बजे.
कैसे आए आप वहाँ से?
ट्रेन से, सिलीगुड़ी टू लखनऊ ट्रेन से.
और फिर लखनऊ से यहाँ कैसे आए आप?
बस से.
और पापा को राम मंदिर देखना इसलिए आए हो आप?
हाँ.
राम मंदिर दर्शन के लिए.
आप बताइए, आप तो राम जी के ससुराल से आ रहे हैं, कैसा लग रहा है यहाँ आकर के?
यहाँ आने का बहुत इच्छा था, अच्छा लग रहा है.
आपका बेटा आपको श्रवण कुमार बन के लेके आया है?
श्रवण, मेरा बेटा भवेश है, लेकिन श्रवण बन के लेके आया हमको.
कितने दिन रुकेंगे आप यहाँ पे अगर आपको दर्शन करना है?
4-5 दिन कमती में. अच्छा से दर्शन करके जाऊंगा.
On that note, let's slip into a very short break. Our rolling coverage of 100 hours plus will continue. It is now just moments to go before the ceremony kicks off. By ceremony, I mean, of course, a lot of things that have to happen before the acharyas take over for the Pran Pratishtha ceremony, full Vedic vigor inside the temple. But a lot of things will happen in the run-up to it as well. And CNN News 18 is your destination for all of those updates. We have the largest team of reporters across the city getting you all the latest details. So stay with us. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Hey, pal pal mein, yug mein, har kshan mein Ram, har ghar mein, har man mein, ghad ghad mein Ram, Ram siya Ram, siya
The construction of the Ram temple in itself is a huge moment for Indian civilization.
The
enthusiasm, the excitement among the devotees can clearly be seen and experienced here.
संविधान में राम है, राज्य की कल्पना में राम है, रोम रोम में राम है, भारत के राम है, भारत में राम है।
राम 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 राम। धर्म को कैसे बांधते हुए, धर्म की सीमाओं में रहते हुए कैसे काम किया जाए,
इसके ऊपर आप अभी देख नहीं सकेंगी। वो विष्णु जी का है और वो एक तरीके से समुद्र मंथन उसकी कहानी।
Thousands of devotees have come to this Naya Ghat. They are offering prayers to Lord Surya.
Netaji. A lot of programs, big and small programs, people in a way trying to celebrate in their own way. Where are you right now, and tell us what's happening around you?
Well, I'm at Rampath right now, and it's a celebration of sorts, and there's this bhajan mandali which has come all the way from Madhya Pradesh, and let's allow our viewers to first soak into what they want to really present. Sir, आप bhajan गा सकते हैं.
जय श्री राम. श्री राम जय जय 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 राम. श्री राम श्री राम जय जय राम.
While they continue to sing, there are women who are coming here to perform. आप perform कर सकते हैं. Shivani, today is not about speaking anything. Today is not about a day to, pass any comments. It's just about a day of celebration, and everybody around here is celebrating in some way or the other. This lady who you can see in front of us is coming from Yogi Adityanath's home constituency, Gorakhpur, and she in fact trains a lot of, women from the backward community in dance as well. आप बताइए, आप जनजाति के महिलाओं को ट्रेन करती है
डांस, फैशन शो, ड्रामा, एक्टिंग.
कहाँ से आप कह रहे थे कि योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने आपकी?
मैं वनटांगिया कम्युनिटी पे वर्क कर रही हूँ. उन्होंने हमारे सीएम सर ने अडॉप्ट कर रखा है और उनको लेके मैं कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज़ में आती हूँ. फैशन शो, लोक नृत्य सिखाती हूँ, ड्रामा सिखाती हूँ और हमारा सरकार हमारी बहुत साथ दे रही है. हमें जगह जगह स्टेज पे.
वासियों के लिए कितना बड़ा दिन है और यूपी वासियों के लिए कितना बड़ा दिन है, भारतवासियों के लिए?
लाइक हम लोग का जीवन सफल हो गया है. अब एज अ कलाकार अगर हमें 22 तारीख को प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के दिन मौका दिया सरकार ने अपना कला प्रदर्शन करने का, तो मेरे साथ जितने भी कलाकार हैं वो जीते जी स्वर्ग की प्राप्ति हो गई है.
आप मध्य प्रदेश से आए हो. मध्य प्रदेश में कई सारे ऐसे स्थान हैं जिनको पूरी देश और दुनिया जानती है. राम, आज के दिन में राम क्या मायने रखते हैं भारत के लोगों के लिए और विश्व भर के लिए?
आज के दिन राम जी आज बहुत ही मायने, हम कह नहीं सकते हैं कि अयोध्या में ऐसा भव्य कार्यक्रम रहेगा, प्रतिष्ठा रहेगी राम जी की. ऐसा कभी सुना नहीं. ये मेहंदी घर से और राम जी के आगमन की खुशी में
शादी के जैसा माहौल है.
जी बिल्कुल, शादी का जैसे हमारे घर में शादी ब्याह रहते हैं और उत्साह के साथ में रहते हैं, उसी उत्साह के साथ में हम आएंगे.
Well, of course, Shivani, people, whether it's a celebrities or whether it's a common man, they've come in, अपनी श्रद्धा से सब आए हैं, because they all believe that राम सबके और सब में राम है. That's the kind of celebrity mood. It looks like a wedding sort of a mood that you see in Ayodhya here, even as we report. And of course, it's still dark. We can also show you that the Prime Minister's security is on that path. They are actually inspecting the entire path, and probably in a bit from now, the Prime Minister's security will block this entire area for access as far as people is concerned. So obviously, it's a huge occasion for this temple town of Ayodhya, which is bracing up for one of its biggest day in the history of 500 years or so. Shivani, back to you.
Yeah, but Payal, I was about to ask you exactly this. How many people do you see around you? Because there are a few key arterial roads in Ayodhya that lead to the Ram temple, and all of them were, I believe, were supposed to be completely sanitized ahead of the Prime Minister's arrival. So, how close are people being allowed to come today, and how many people do you see around you?
There are very few people who are being allowed, and all of these people who are allowed are probably artists who already have a permission, you know, to actually come and perform over here. There are various stages that have been set up over here for their performance. So that's where they're going to be in a bit from now. But yes, the security is very, very tight, and the access is minimum, and only those people who have a valid car pass are being allowed. In fact, we also have to walk about 500 meters, from the last sort of chalk, because they said that they wouldn't allow us beyond a certain point as well. So obviously security, we are taking no chances, and in a bit from now, probably in another half an hour, 45 minutes, this entire stretch where I'm standing at will be sanitized, because the Prime Minister's security will take over the premises, because the Prime Minister is expected to take this route to go to the
Thanks a lot for staying with us. The entire city of Ayodhya has become completely drenched in the devotion for Lord Ram as Jan 22 has come upon us. In a few hours from now, we'll see the Pran Pratishtha ceremony of the new Ramlala idol take place in the new Ram temple. And with that, it marks the official inauguration of sorts of the Ram temple. From tomorrow onwards, the devotees will be able to visit the new Ram temple, something that they've been waiting for half a millennium. Speaking of what Ram means, not just to Ayodhya, but to entire consciousness of a country and possibly beyond, my colleague Anand Narasimhan spoke to representatives of the ISKCON temple, and also a very special presentation by singer Tiwari. Let's listen in.
I want to understand, what is this? Is there a Ram consciousness? Yes. And why is it that Rama and Krishna are found across all corners of Bharat and beyond? There is a lot of work that's been done by his followers, Rama's followers and Krishna's followers. But fact is that greeting is Ram Ram. There is a Ramachandra or Ramachandran in the south. There is a Ram Singh, Ram Lal in the north. And east, west, everywhere this name is present. How and why?
Majority of society lives in families. Families are very closely bonded with each other, and people have deep emotions connected to the family. Both Ramayana and Mahabharata are trying to underscore a very important principle. It's easier to manage a kingdom than to manage a family. And this lesson resonates so strongly that people can identify with it because it's so relevant. Here is Dasharath wanting to make Ram the king, and then he calls the entire kingdom and he announces, I'm going to retire, Ram is going to become king. There is a tumultuous sound, and Dasharath calls his minister and said, what is this tumultuous sound? And the minister says, last 60,000 years, Dasharath, you have made so many decisions, but this decision to retire is the best decision you have made. At that moment, Dasharath is insecure and he thinks, should I go back on my decision? But then they say, no, Ram is so super excellent in his qualities, he should become the king. Everybody expects him to become the king, and next day he is on the way to Vanvas. So this is the dynamics of the duality which all of us will face: prosperity, adversity, prosperity, adversity. But in the midst of prosperity and adversity, one continues on the path of service. So therefore, why Ramayana and Mahabharata are so popular is they are both trying to share a common message. There may be prosperity in life, there may be adversity in life, but when you go to the temples of Ram, go to the temples of Krishna, do not pray for increasing your prosperity or diminishing your adversity, but pray that in the midst of prosperity and adversity, let me have equanimity to continue the path of selfless service.
This is so difficult, है ना? आप समझ रही हैं, equipoise, कि आपको एक जैसा एक समान होना चाहिए, चाहे वो एडवर्सिटी हो या फिर आपके पक्ष में कुछ चल रहा हो, यानी प्रॉस्पेरिटी हो. आप रख पाती हैं ऐसा? इज इट इजी और डिफिकल्ट? खासकर जब आपको सडनली इतना अटेंशन मिला, अलग अलग तरीके के लोगों ने अलग अलग तरीके की बातें की, तो आप थोड़ा विचलित हुई कि आप उसे कहते हैं ना एकात्म थी?
जो भी अपने भगवान से प्रेम करता है, अगर एग्जाम्पल मैं मीरा माता को मानती हूँ, उनको तो क्या क्या यातनाएं नहीं सहनी पड़ी, उनको घर से निकाल दिया गया और फिर उनके ऊपर कितने सारे अत्याचार हुए, कितने बार उनका महल में वापस जाना हुआ, कितने बार महल से वापस निकलना हुआ। मैंने तो उनकी पूरी स्टोरी देखी, जो पॉडकास्ट करते हैं, कई सारे चैनल्स हैं। तो तब से मैं मीरा माता की जीवन चरित्र से बहुत ज़्यादा प्रभावित हूँ। जो भी भगवान से प्रेम करेगा उसको ये सब रास्ते में तो मिलेगा ही मिलेगा, और लेकिन हर किसी भक्त को ये रखना चाहिए मन में कि वो है और उसका भगवान है, और तीसरा इसके बीच में नहीं आना चाहिए, भक्ति के बीच में कोई नहीं आना चाहिए।
क्या बात है। तो भक्ति परम है, भक्त और भगवान के बीच में किसी को आना नहीं चाहिए। एक और गीत है ना आपका जो गाती हैं आप?
हाँ जी, वो भी सुनाना चाहूंगी।
प्लीज।
बिल्कुल। ये मैंने खास करके यहीं पर जो ये राम जन्मभूमि है और जो भी माहौल है अयोध्या का, उसी के लिए मैंने बनाया है। भारत का है भगवा रंग, देख के दुनिया हो गई दंग, राम के सेवक मस्त मलंग, झूम के नाचे हैं बजरंग। भारत का है भगवा रंग, देख के दुनिया हो गई दंग, राम के सेवक मस्त मलंग, झूम के नाचे हैं बजरंग। आरा रा भगवा रंग छा गया घर घर में, मेरे राम का भगवा रंग छा गया घर घर में।
Hare Krishna sir, you have been serving food for people. How many days is this camp going to continue?
Yes, we are thinking that we are planning to feed for 3 months continuously because many people are coming here, lot of people. So 3 months we thought we will continue this camp.
And since when have you been running the campus?
Last 1 week we have started already.
And how many people are deployed here for work?
Here almost 50 people are working. We have 3 counters. Each and everywhere, all the counters we are feeding people, and last 7 days it is started, so we are getting very good response. A lot of people are coming and having food from our
I will show our viewers what this entire kitchen looks like, sir. If you can walk along with us, it's very, very organized. It looks like it's all planned as well. Very interesting that we can see the way they are really functioning. My video journalist will show you as to how this roti machine is dishing out rotis, because remember, rotis are very, very difficult to make and takes a lot of process. So this is the machine which has been brought in. So what really happens on this machine, sir?
So we have roti machine here. Here we all the atas, dough, and this dough we put on the top.
And then the dough goes into that machine.
Yes. And from there you can see. And
from this dough, the roti gets
cooked. Yes.
इस दिन के इंतजार में दशकों से ये आंखें तरस गई, आएगा ये तो विश्वास था, अब जो तू यहाँ लौटा है। स्वागत गान गाए जिसके लिए मन में गंगा जिसके हाथ में है, जीते भी मरते भी काम काज करते भी, सुख में दुख में हर एक मुख में गर जाएगी ना। जय श्री राम। पल पल में युग युग में हर क्षण में राम, हर तन में हर मन में कण कण में राम, राम सिया राम सिया राम।
As the Grand Ram Temple rises, CNN News 18 gets you the biggest voices.
Devotees in great number. I mean, we are thinking about 1,25,000 every day.
From temple vision to execution.
एक अनोखी शैली में बनाने की कोशिश की है। भगवान का दरबार में आप जाएंगे तो लगेगा कि नहीं, एक अच्छी जगह पे हम लोग आए।
From objections to obeisance.
राम जी प्रतिष्ठित होंगे तो राम राज्य का मार्ग भी प्रशस्त होगा।
This Ram Mandir, which has been a dream of people for so many years, is coming to fruition.
Thanks to everybody who made that happen, and I'm sure this means a world to multitude of people.
The symbolism, the significance, all stakeholders choose CNN News 18.
Netaji stand, but yes, it's beautifully decorated. Even though there have been barricades that have been put in place, so if any common person is trying to walk, they have to walk past those barricades. Nobody is allowed to be on the main road, that we are standing on. But obviously, they will be making it more and more stricter and more tighter as the time progresses and as we approach the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha period.
A lot of programs, big and small programs, people in a way trying to celebrate in their own way. Where are you right now, and tell us what's happening around you?
Well, I'm at Rampath right now, and it's a celebration of sorts, and there's this bhajan mandali which has come all the way from Madhya Pradesh, and let's allow our viewers to first soak in into what they want to really present. Sir, आप भजन गा सकते हैं।
जय श्री राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम।
While they continue to sing, there are women who are coming here to perform. आप perform कर सकते हैं।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
So Shivani, today is not about speaking anything. Today is not about a day to pass any comments. It's just about a day of celebration, and everybody around here is celebrating in some way or the other. This lady who you can see in front of us is coming in from Yogi Adityanath's home constituency, Gorakhpur, and she in fact trains a lot of women from the backward community in dance as well. आप बताइए, आप जनजाति के महिलाओं को ट्रेन करती है
डांस, फैशन शो, ड्रामा, एक्टिंग।
कहाँ से आप कह रहे थे कि योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने आपकी?
मैं वनटांगिया कम्युनिटी पे वर्क कर रही हूँ। उन्होंने हमारे सीएम सर ने अडॉप्ट कर रखा है और उनको लेके मैं कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज़ में आती हूँ। फैशन शो, लोक नृत्य सिखाती हूँ, ड्रामा सिखाती हूँ और हमारी सरकार हमारी बहुत साथ दे रही है। हमें जगह जगह स्टेज पे।
वासियों के लिए कितना बड़ा दिन है और यूपी वासियों के लिए कितना बड़ा दिन है, भारतवासियों
के लिए? हम लोग का जीवन सफल हो गया है। अब एज अ कलाकार अगर हमें 22 तारीख को प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के दिन मौका दिया सरकार ने अपना कला प्रदर्शन करने का, तो मेरे साथ जितने भी कलाकार हैं वो मतलब जीते जी स्वर्ग की प्राप्ति हो गई है।
आप मध्य प्रदेश से आए हो। मध्य प्रदेश में कई सारे ऐसे स्थान हैं जिनको पूरी देश और दुनिया जानती है। राम, आज के दिन में राम क्या मायने रखते हैं भारत के लोगों के लिए और विश्व भर के लिए?
आज के दिन राम जी आज बहुत ही मायने, हम मतलब कह नहीं सकते हैं कि आज अयोध्या में ऐसा भव्य कार्यक्रम रहेगा, प्रतिष्ठा रहेगी राम जी की, ऐसा कभी सुना। ये मेहंदी घर से और राम जी के आगमन की खुशी में
शादी के जैसा माहौल है।
जी बिल्कुल, शादी का माहौल जैसे हमारे घर में शादी ब्याह रहती है और उत्साह के साथ में रहते हैं, उसी उत्साह के साथ में हमारे।
Well, of course, Shivani, people, whether it's a celebrities or whether it's a common man, they've come in, अपनी श्रद्धा से सब आए हैं, because they all believe that राम सबके और सब में राम है. That's the kind of celebrity mood. It looks like a wedding sort of a mood that you see in Ayodhya here, even as we report. And of course, it's still dark. We can also show you that the Prime Minister security is on that path. They are actually inspecting the entire path, and probably in a bit from now, the Prime Minister security will block this entire area for access as far as people is concerned. So obviously it's a huge occasion for this temple town of Ayodhya, which is bracing up for one of its biggest day in the history of 500 years or so. Shivani, back to you.
Yeah, but Payal, I was about to ask you exactly this. How many people do you see around you? Because there are a few key arterial roads in Ayodhya that lead to the Ram temple, and all of them were, I believe, were supposed to be completely sanitized ahead of the Prime Minister's arrival. So, how close are people being allowed to come today, and how many people do you see around you?
There are very few people who are being allowed, and all of these people who are allowed are probably artists who already have a permission, to actually come and perform over here. There are various stages that have been set up over here for their performance. So that's where they're going to be in a bit from now. But yes, the security is very, very tight, and the access is minimum, and only those people who have a valid
Namaste, Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. It is a historic moment. It is a historic moment for all of Bharat, for all of the world, because the Pran Pratishtha of Ram Lala at Ram Lala Virajman is going to take place in a short while from now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to unfold the eyes of Ram Lala, the deity who's Virajman there. He will open his eyes, he will apply kajal under the eyes and then show him the mirror. That will be the ritual towards which will signal perhaps the commencement because of the Pran Pratishtha also, because for the last 4 days there has been a huge amount of rituals, yagna and chanting of mantras by the 121 acharyas who are presiding over this. These acharyas who are the Dravid of Varanasi, Dravid of Varanasi and the Dikshit of Kashi. These are the people who have come to try and help Prime Minister Narendra Modi as the Yajman and actually officiate and conduct the Pran Pratishtha of Ram Lala. In presence will also be the RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat, Governor Anandiben Patel and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who seems to be letting out a flood of emotions on social media, on Twitter with his posts over the last hour and a half. From his Dada Guru Digvijay Nath to his Guru Avaidhyanath, it's been the Nath Sampradaya struggle for the rightful place of Ram Lala here in Ayodhya, where many believe he is his Ram Janbhumi, but Yogi Adityanath said this is his Prakatya Bhumi. This is the place where Ram appeared. That's the belief. That's the beauty of those who are Ram Bhaks, those who believe in Ram, those who believe in Ram Rajya, and those who believe in the Maryada Purushottam, the ideals that he set for society to live on, the struggles, the pains that he endured for himself, just so that the kingdom, the Rashtra, would thrive, would have a certain equanimity in all conditions. That was the beauty of Ram, and that's what's going to be celebrated. Governance for all and appeasement of none. That was perhaps his philosophy, that the rule of law applied to all, and the Raja above all had to follow the rules. And that's the ideals that many would like to imbibe in their life, and perhaps that's why the value systems that he set up that make him immortal even so many thousands of years after he came to life here or came to live here on earth. But this is what's happened. An interesting aspect at this point, ladies and gentlemen, would like to tell you that the original idol of Ram Lala Virajman was shifted from a Tat into That, that is a grand permanent residence, last evening in the presence of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. And that's why it was a very, very emotional moment for him too, because the jibes had been forever. What is going to happen to the original Ram Lala? Where is he going to be Virajman? Are you going to continue to keep him in a tent or a Tat or a temporary roof or a temporary shelter? Finally, he's moved into that final shelter. He, perhaps we are given to understand, will be the Achara Vigraha or the Utsav Vigraha, will have the same divinity. He is the original Ram Lala Virajman, and perhaps he would be the one that would be shown around the city. And the current Pran Pratishtha that's happening of the 5-year-old Ram Lala, that's a beautiful deity and a beautiful Vigraha that was being sculpted by Arun Yogiraj. That will become the Achara Vigraha, or the one that will remain in its place and will not be moving around. Now, there are various ritis, there are various agamas which you talk about. The Vaishnava Sampradaya has more than 108 agamas. There are learned people in our midst who will tell us more about that. But first, let's go across and get you the buzz across the streets of Ayodhya. I'm coming to you from Ram Ki Pauri, and where we talk about Ram, they say that there will always be his Bhakt Hanuman and his lineage, Hanuman's lineage, and we are surrounded by monkeys at this point, I should tell you that. And they are just sitting there patiently listening, have a sip of water at the Saryu, and then making their way. We keep the camera still. Let's go across to our reporters who are there at Rampath. Thousands have thronged this place, not just the VVIP 8,000 invitees, but also people from all across the country and the world are here. They just want to be in Ayodhya on this historic moment. Siddhant Mishra is with us, joining us from Rampath. From Lata Chowk is Aman Sharma, and Payal Mehta is also joining us from Rampath. Let's go straight across to Siddhant. Siddhant, whereabouts are you? Have the guests already started arriving? How are they being taken in?
Well, that's right, Anand. Right now I'm at Ram Janmabhoomi. I am near Ram Janmabhoomi, and in fact, behind me is Ram Janmabhoomi, where I could see the dignitaries, VIPs have started arriving, Anand. In fact, I just saw Anopum Kher getting inside the premises of Ram Janmabhoomi. So there is a cart arrangement that has been made by the trust. So you have to get down at the main entry from your car, and then you have to get onto the cart to reach the venue where the sitting arrangement has been made. So sitting arrangement has been made inside the temple. Also, Anand, we are getting to know that a lot of B-town celebrities are taking the private flight from Mumbai, and that flight will land in Ayodhya in some time from now. All of them are coming to Ayodhya, and as they are the special invitees. Now this is how the Ram Janmabhoomi is looking like this morning. This is Rampath, and this is outside the Ram Janmabhoomi, the main gate. In fact, cops are pushing us and in fact asking us to stand beyond Hanuman Gadi, but we are still here, and we can show it to our viewers that how VIPs and dignitaries are getting inside, taking the special card. The announcement is being made by police officers. They are asking us to go beyond Hanuman Gadi. But we can give sense to our viewers what is happening here on ground. The celebrities, dignitaries, politicians, media personalities all have started arriving, and in fact we have been told that the arrival of the special invitees will close by around 10 a.m. 9:30 to 10 would be the last entry of the special invitee, because post that Prime Minister Modi is going to arrive, and as per the protocol everyone needs to be inside the temple premises ahead of the Prime Minister's arrival. So this is a window which has been given to these invitees.
You're right, Siddhant. You're right, Siddhant, and just alerting all our 8,000 special invitees who are all present here that if you're watching CNN News 18 or the News 18 broadcast, you have to get up and about, and you have to get to your spots by 10 a.m. 10:25 a.m. is when the Prime Minister lands, and the moment he lands, the protocol sets in. Before that, all invitees will have to get in. They will not be allowed thereafter. Security arrangements are very, very tight, and ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you, it's biting cold. That's why I've got gloves on one hand so that I can hold the mic steady, because my hands are already numb. On the other hand, where I'm getting updates on my phone, the update is that we should have Sudarshan Patnaik ji live joining us. He's made a beautiful sand sculpture. We'll go to him in just a bit. But first, quickly going across to Aman Sharma to take us through the protocols. We should also have Siddharth S. Kumarji, astrologer, and Rangarajan Narsimhan joining us from our studio. But first, let's go across to Aman Sharma. Aman, a quick update on what we can expect through the day. What's the schedule like? You are at Veena Chowk. That's been a hub of activity all through the night. Despite this biting cold, there's a beautiful Veena there dedicated to the Swar Kokila Lata Mangeshkar. But tell us, what should we expect through the day?
Yeah, Anand, we were at Lata Chowk, but as Siddhant was saying, the police is pushing us away from all these iconic sites. So we have come now to the media center, where the telecast will be live for, and there are almost over 2,000 journalists from India and abroad present here. A huge congregation of journalists. You're right, the Prime Minister is arriving around 10:25 a.m. in Ayodhya. By around 11, he'll be in the Ram Janmabhoomi premises. Between 11 and 12, Anand, the Prime Minister, is expected to take a round of the entire Ram Janmabhoomi premises, meet the Shramjeevis, the labourers and the workers who have worked tirelessly on building the Ram temple. From 12:05, he enters the Garbh Griha, where along with the priests from Varanasi, the Prime Minister will be overseeing and conducting the Pran Pratishtha ceremony of the Ram Lalla. The patti over the eyes of Ram Lalla will be removed. The PM will be using a sone ka tar to put kajal in the eyes of Ram Lalla and showing him the darpan, which is the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. After that, the Prime Minister will be addressing the entire audience, and that is going to be a very, very highly televised address, Anand, because people from India and across the world are keen to listen to what the Prime Minister has to say on this momentous occasion. Mr. Mohan Bhagwat and the Chief Minister of UP, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, will also be addressing the crowd. We are expecting a push varsha from helicopters all over the Ram temple premises at this moment. After that, the Prime Minister is going to Kuber Tila, Anand. Kuber Tila, as we all know, is the abode of Lord Shiva, and the mythology, the belief has been that Lord Shiva has always remained close to Lord Ram's Janambhumi, and that is why Lord Shiva's Shivling and the temple on Kuber Tila has also been refurbished. और सिर्फ राम भगवान को ही छत नहीं मिली है, भगवान भोलेनाथ को भी छत मिली है राम जन्मभूमि में. PM will be going there, making prayers there, and after that around 3:30 the PM is expected to leave Anand. Around 5-hour long visit by the PM, and I think many people are looking forward to what he actually says on the occasion, on the entire struggle of this 500 years for the Ram Janambhumi and the coming up of the temple. I think a momentous day for both the Prime Minister and the UP Chief Minister.
Absolutely. Aman, Siddhant, phenomenal job done. We'll try and go across to Payal Mehta also in just a bit. There are a lot of eager people. There are huge number of media setups all around me, ladies and gentlemen. So, and chants of Jai Shri Ram all around, that's happening. The mood is, the fervor is such. Let's go across to Sudarshan Patnaik ji, Padma Shri awardee and sand sculptor par excellence. He can just weave magic. I have seen his work from up close and it's just magic. And Yogi Adityanath ji has taken a selfie there. His dedication, Sudarshan Patnaik ji's ode to Ram Lala, the beautiful Ram temple, and after that also that lovely face of Ram ji that you have made. Sudarshan Patnaik ji, namaste. Such a phenomenal moment, and what a sculpture that you have built. Amazing.
जय श्री राम. आज हमारा देश के लिए, हर कोई भगवान राम की भक्त के लिए एक बहुत ऐतिहासिक दिन है, ब्लेसिंगफुल दिन है. हमें ये ब्लेसिंग्स मिला कि भगवान राम जी का जो पवित्र स्थान पे सैंड स्कल्पचर क्रिएट करने के लिए, और हम लोगों ने वहाँ पर गए और भगवान खुद बने, उनको कोई नहीं बनाया है. मैं पहले ये बोलना चाहूँगा, पहले आज एन आर्टिस्ट के माध्यम से जो स्कल्पचर्स वहाँ पर बनी हुई है, वहाँ सब लोग जाके देखेंगे. बट उससे ये है कि ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जी जो आह्वान दिए थे कि आज देश भर में हर किसी के घर में दीप जला के स्वागत करने के लिए, भगवान को नमन करने के लिए, प्रे करने के लिए, मैं वहाँ पर स्कल्पचर के पास, भगवान राम जी के पास ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जी का भी स्कल्पचर्स बनाया और वो प्रे कर रहे हैं इस पवित्र दिन के लिए, जो सबको अपील किए थे. क्योंकि इस दिन के लिए मैं जब 2018 में गया था, वहाँ पर देखा था, अभी अयोध्या बहुत परिवर्तन हुआ है और एंटायर अयोध्या जो भगवान का स्थान, जैसे पवित्र स्थान होता है, जैसे पूरी जगन्नाथ धाम जहाँ से मैं हूँ, और जैसे उसी पवित्र धाम का एटमॉस्फेयर लगा और बहुत मन में ये भावना आया कि जिस दिन के लिए हम सब लोग अपेक्षा कर रहे थे, वो दिन आज आया है.
सुदर्शन पटनायक जी, सुदर्शन जी, मैं अगर आपसे कहूं कि जिस भाव से आपने जय श्री राम कहा, तो वो बड़ा ही आत्मीय था. तो मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहता हूं कि राम आपके लिए कौन है और राम से हम सब क्या सीख सकते हैं एज भारतीय.
भगवान राम हमारा हिंदू धर्म और हमारा प्राण प्रतिष्ठा है. उन्हीं के बिना जैसे कोई पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता है. उनसे बहुत कुछ, उनका जो आध्यात्मिक भावना था, जो भावना से आज सारा विश्व में सिर्फ हिंदू धर्म के नहीं, अलग अलग धर्म के भी लोग भगवान राम जी को और उनकी जो जीवन था उसी को लेकर सब लोग कितने सारे देश से भक्ति भावना से रहे हैं. हम जिस पूरी जगन्नाथ धाम में रहते हैं, जगन्नाथ जी का एक अवतार है, उससे पहले भगवान राम जी का अवतार था. तो वहाँ पर भी जैसे हम लोग पहले उठते हैं, जय श्री राम बोलते हैं, जय जगन्नाथ बोलते हैं, इस तरीके से भगवान राम, भगवान जगन्नाथ, ये सब हमारा धर्म का और हमारा आध्यात्मिकता का भावना है और उन्हीं को हम लोग जैसे हमने बताया कि जो स्कल्पचर्स हमने बनाया था वो खुद भगवान ही, आज नहीं, मैंने बहुत बार भगवान राम जी का स्कल्पचर्स बनाया है और वो खुद अपने आप बनते हैं। इसलिए जो स्कल्पटर, जो रियल स्कल्पचर बनाए हैं, आप देखिए वो कैसे भगवान विश्वकर्मा की तरह वो बन गए और किस तरीके से युवराज जी ने वो स्कल्पचर्स बनाए हैं। वो फेस में क्या है, कोई देखेंगे उनका हृदय जो है वो समर्पण हो जाएगा। मैं उनको भी अभिनंदन देना चाहूंगा और उनको, उनके साथ उनके ब्लेसिंग्स, भगवान राम खुद आके उनके ऊपर बैठ गए विश्वकर्मा होके और वो बना दिए। इस जो 500 साल का अपेक्षा था वहां पर भगवान खुद विराज गए।
आपने जब रामलला की मूर्ति देखी, उसकी इमेजेस आपने भी देखे होंगे, तो आपको कैसा लगा? आपको लगता है कि वही उसी तरह से राम होंगे?
वो इमेजेस देखने के बाद यही मुझे लगा कि हम लोग खुद तो नहीं देखे हैं विश्वकर्मा जी को, और भगवान राम खुद ही योगीराज जी को उनके अंदर समा गए और वो खुद बनाते चले। क्योंकि वो फेस में आप देखिए जो मूर्ति है, जो भगवान जी का जो मुंह फेस है, उसमें क्या आध्यात्मिकता है, कोई देखेंगे तो उनका हृदय वहीं पर समर्पण हो जाएगा। तो इसी से मैं वो स्कल्पचर देखने के बाद, मैं तो बहुत सारे स्कल्पचर्स पहले से क्रिएट किया था, बट ये जो योगीराज जी ने जो स्कल्पचर्स, रियल स्कल्पचर पूजा के लिए बनाए हैं, वो स्कल्पचर वो नहीं बनाए हैं, उनके अंदर खुद भगवान राम जी समर्पण हो गए और वो बनाते चले। तो इसीलिए वो एक शताब्दी का, इस शताब्दी का सबसे बड़ा ये है आध्यात्मिकता है। और बहुत सारे कलाकार हमारे पहले से इस युग में बहुत कुछ क्रिएट किए हैं, बट जो भगवान रामलाला जी का स्कल्पचर बना है वो इस सेंचुरी का, इस शताब्दी का सबसे बड़ा ब्यूटीफुल स्कल्पचर है और आध्यात्मिकता स्कल्पचर है।
जी, सुदर्शन पटनायक जी, आपका भाव मुझे बहुत बहुत प्रिय लगा, क्योंकि जो आप कह रहे हैं बहुत दिल से कह रहे हैं, एंड आई रियली अप्रिशिएट यू बीइंग सो अपफ्रंट अबाउट इट। आई थिंक आज का दिन ही कुछ ऐसा है जो फॉर यू टू से कि आज आपने एक अलग वाइब्रेंसी आपको लग रही है कि, और मुझे ये भी लगा कि जब महंत, अब आदित्यनाथ जी खुद महंत हैं और वो अगर एक सेल्फी ले रहे हैं आपके स्कल्पचर के साथ, दैट मीन्स उसमें से एक स्पेशल वाइब्रेंसी जिसकी बात आप कर रहे थे शायद उनको भी महसूस हुई। आपको अच्छा लगा कि ही इज ऑल्सो अप्रिशिएटेड योर स्कल्पचर एंड ही इज ट्राई टू टेक अ सेल्फी विद इट।
एक्चुअली हम लोग ने जब स्कल्पचर करने के लिए वहां पर गए, हमने ये सोचा कि 500 साल के बाद भगवान राम जी की मंदिर बन रहा है और प्राण प्रतिष्ठा होगा, तो इसलिए हमने एक यूनिक तरीके से क्रिएट करने के लिए हुई सरयू नदी के पास, वहां पर हमने रेत के ऊपर 500 जो छोटे छोटे मिनीचर टेम्पल था उसी को इंस्टॉल करके एक बड़ा सा टेम्पल हम लोगों ने क्रिएट किया, मंदिर क्रिएट किया, जो कल वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स करके डिक्लेयर भी हुआ है वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स की तरफ से। और जहां ये स्कल्पचर बना था, खुद योगी आदित्यनाथ जी जो हर दिन वहां पर जाके मायना लेते थे, जो उनका कंटिन्यूसली वो फेट देते थे, और उन्हीं ने खुद जाके वहां पर भगवान राम जी का स्कल्पचर देख के वहां पर सेल्फी लिए और अभिनंदन जनाए कि ये स्कल्पचर्स के लिए, ये तो एक आर्टिस्ट के लिए बहुत बड़ा ब्लेसिंग है कि उनकी महानता की वो खुद जाके वहां भगवान जी को देखे जो रेत में बने थे। क्योंकि आपको पता होगा भगवान राम जी ने भी, जो हम समझते हैं कि बालू जो रेत कला करते हैं, शिवलिंग बना के पहले ही पूजा किए थे, वही रेत का शुरुआत है। तो खुद भगवान के पास आदित्यनाथ जी ऑनरेबल सीएम वहां जाके फोटोग्राफ्स लिए और अभिनंदन किए। वो आज एन आर्टिस्ट के लिए बहुत बड़ा ब्लेसिंग है हम लोग के लिए।
जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सुदर्शन पटनायक जी आपके समय के लिए एंड फॉर द वर्क दैट यू हैव डन। आप ऐसे ही लोगों को मोटिवेट करते रहिए। हर हिस्टोरिक, भारत के हर हिस्टोरिक पल पर आप कुछ ना कुछ स्पेशल करते हैं। आपने सैंड स्कल्पचर को नहीं, उन ऐतिहासिक पलों को भी आपने एक तरीके से यू हैव आल्सो बीन एबल टू कैप्चर इट फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस. तो थैंक यू सो मच. मैं आशा करता हूं कि आप जल्द रामलला के दर्शन करें और उसके बाद आपके अंदर जो भाव आता है उसका भी एक स्कल्पचर बना है. आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू दैट टू. आर यू लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू दैट? आपको लगता है कि ऐसा कुछ होगा? मेरा अंतिम प्रश्न आपसे.
जरूर वही भगवान के आशीर्वाद से हम जरूर दर्शन करेंगे. और दर्शन के बाद हमने ये सोच के रखा है जब उत्सव आएगा और भगवान राम जी की जन्मतिथि पे हम बड़ा सा स्कल्पचर उसी टाइप का पूरी बीच में क्रिएट करेंगे. और हमने तो वही भगवान को छोड़ा है कि भगवान का ब्लेसिंग्स रहेगा तो जरूर हम एक बहुत बड़ा स्कल्पचर, क्योंकि मैं इतनी बार वो स्कल्पचर्स को देख रहा हूँ जब से उस भगवान का फोटोग्राफ्स आया है. मैं वही टाइम पे हूँ कि बहुत बड़ा स्कल्पचर हम लोग भी कोशिश करें कि भगवान का इस पवित्र तिथि जब आएगा राम जन्म के समय उस समय हम लोग बनाएंगे.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सुदर्शन पटनायक जी, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत आभार. आप ऐसे ही काम करते रहें और अच्छे शिष्यों को ट्रेन करते रहें who can take your work forward. That's what I can pray for today from Sri Ayodhya Dham, where you have made such a beautiful sculpture for Prabhu Shri Ram. Thank you so much. Sudarshan Patnaik ji. Quickly before we go across to Pawan Kumar, thank you sir, thank you so much. Quickly before we go to Pawan Kumar ji and Rangarajan Narasimhan, we also have Payal Mehta speaking with Murari Bapu. Let's go across to that.
जी तो मुझे बहुत आनंद है और ये जिस तरह ये आयोजन हुआ है उसकी मैं प्रसन्नता व्यक्त करता हूँ.
होने वाली है यहाँ पे
24 फरवरी से.
आज क्या कहना चाहेंगे राम भक्तों को?
मैं कहना क्या, सब देखते हैं, सुन रहे हैं, सब साक्षी बन रहे हैं उसको.
आपने कभी हम लोगों की तरह कभी सोचा था कि जीवन काल में इस तरह का दिन देखने मिलेगा?
नहीं, मुझे यकीन था कि होगा, सूर्योदय होगा. सूर्यवंश को तो कुछ राहु ने ग्रस लिया था, मुक्त हो गए.
कैसा मन में भाव है, क्योंकि प्रभु श्री राम को वो महल मिल रहा है.
इनका पूरा नाम क्या है?
Of course, Murari Bapu has been here, since yesterday, Anand. In fact, he has been somebody who's also been championing this cause of Prabhu Ram and spreading the message across as well. In fact, towards the end of January and to the beginning of February, he'll have another set of Ram Kathas that will happen here. And he said that he's of the belief that yes, the Ram Mandir will become a reality. He's one of these invitees who's been invited here today to speak. In fact, through his association, they were able to raise donations for the Ram temple to the tune of 19 to 20 crores in no time, and that's something Murari Bapu has been also been speaking about. While he said the most important thing he said when I asked him is that do you believe that this day would come? He said I always had the belief that this day would come, and that's actually the spirit that a lot of people, in fact, who have been invited today, especially the seers, the saints who've been invited today, they've been living with this belief for last many years, many decades. It's a wait of 500 years that people have really waited for to see this day really happen. Anand, back to you. Right, so we are currently at Rampath right now. In fact, we can see that this is a festival kind of an atmosphere over here. Even though the security is continuing to block everybody right here, given the fact that it's just about a couple of hours to go before Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be arriving in Ayodhya. But you can see that there's a festival sort of an atmosphere. There are people who are singing traditional songs. There are people who are dancing around as well. There are a lot of people who are still trying to find the events, probably trying to see a last minute attempt if they can actually find a way to go towards the temple. That is the way to go towards Lata Chowk, and from there on you can turn on and go to Hanuman Gadi and to the Ram Mandir, where of course a big function takes place today. A lot of VIPs are coming for this. A lot of VIPs were invited. Remember, more than 8,000 people were invited by the VHP to come for this. So we've seen visuals from Mumbai where Amitabh Bachchan, Katrina Kaif, Ranveer Kapoor, Madhuri Dixit, all of these people were seen that they were leaving in the morning, for private, through their private airport at Mumbai to come towards Ayodhya. And we also seen Pawan Kalyan, politician, and of course the Janasena chief also has tweeted that he is on his way to Ayodhya. And of course, Chandrababu Naidu, former Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, is already here. Superstar Rajnikant is already here. So these are the leaders who have been invited. And amongst the politicians that we have been invited is former Union Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi. Remember, he's also one of the Karsevaks. He also has fines and invitation. All right. So that's the scenes here in Ayodhya. Back to you.
Thank you, Payal. You're right, always in the thick of things. Our reporters getting you the most comprehensive coverage. And I must say, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've downloaded the News 18 anthem, Pranam Siya Ram. Please do that. That's our dedication. We'd like you to make it part of your devotional playlist and celebrate. Every time we are celebrating our festivals, we're celebrating our deities, our culture, our traditions. Please do that and also stick with us right through here on the News 18 network. The might of the biggest news network across the country is bringing you perhaps the most comprehensive coverage of the Pran Pratishtha here on the 22nd of January. Going across to Siddharth Kumarji. Siddharthji, namaste. My apologies if I took your name wrong earlier. There's just too much happening all around me. But Siddharthji, let me ask you this. This Mahurat, many have said that the Mahurat when the Pran Pratishtha is taking place, this is perhaps the best astrologically in the next 3 years. Is that true?
Certainly, yes. This is one of the finest Muhurat that we could have imagined of in the last instant when I was live with CNN network itself. I mentioned that this is one of the finest which has taken care of it. Why this is finest? There are three things. First thing is Panchang, that we are obviously discussing it about. Today we have Dwadasi Tithi, then Mriksira Nakshatra. We have couple of say Amrit Siddhi Yog, Sarva Siddhi Yog, which is making this auspicious Muhurravi Yoga. So from Panchang perspective, this is one of the finest that we are witnessing. In addition to this Panchang, we are also witnessing a significant amount of chart, astrological planet position at the moment of Pran Pratishtha. At the moment of Pran Pratishtha, Aries ascendant ruled by Mars will be rising, and the ascendant lord itself, Mars, will be in 9th house in the sign of Jupiter. Jupiter in the Aries with Uranus. This is an excellent combination to have. So definitely from Panchang, from astrological. And list not, if we take this Gregorian calendar of 22nd January and see from the perspective of numerology, this 22nd in itself is a master angel number, bringing a master of creation, a path of revolution and unforeseen changes in thought pattern. And this is what we are witnessing, because what we are witnessing right now in every hertz of India is something which is unparalleled after many decades, and this is something which is revolutionizing the complete thing. So this Muhurat has itself played its role and have turned the emotions and the spirituality or a self-realization and awakening in each one of us, and the Muhurat is perfectly fine. This is one of the fantastic we could have ever imagined of.
Rangarajan Narasimhan also with us. Now one more temple has been restored. You've been somebody who's been fighting for the cause of temples. How special is this moment? And can you also take us through the Anushthan that the Prime Minister has followed? More importantly, the 121 Acharyas, the Dikshitars of Kashi and the Dravids of Varanasi is what they say. Who are they and what kind of a sampradaya is this?
Jai Shri Ram. Is it for me? Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Hello Anand, how are you? It's very pleasing to see the happenings that is there right now going on in Ayodhya. Very thrilled, very elated to see Ram Mandir coming up again after several hundred years. It gives me immense pleasure as a devotee, as a Rama Bhakta, to witness this in my lifetime. And this is true for every Hindu. Every Sanatana Dharmi is going to be proud of this moment. The current Pratishtha that is going on right now, Prana Pratishtha that is going on right now at Ayodhya,
is happening as per the Ramanandi Sampradaya, if I am right, if what I understood is right. This is little bit different from what is happening in South India. South India, almost all the temples are based on Agama Shastras. Here they are basing it on a particular scripture which they are following, which is a combination of many sampradayas, many scriptures. This is what I understand.
Why is this special for us? And the Prime Minister going to all the important places, religious places in his 11-day Anushtana. How significant is that?
Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Hello? Okay, we'll try and connect with Rangarajan Narasimhan in just a bit. But Siddharthi, I also wanted to understand, does this also augur a turn in Bharat's fortunes? How are the stars aligned for us as a nation? Because as per astrology, my limited understanding that even a nation has its bhagya.
Very true, very well said. So this is something which is referred as a mundane astrology, where not only say a nation but also a city, it has a chart. And again, a couple of things would be repetition, which I said on the last when I was with CNN. Ki this Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha is a new chapter for the Bharat, and if I call it to be a rebirth of Bharat, it won't be something which is unparalleled. So this is something which is not going to boost the economic status, but this is something which is also going to bring in new researches and new credibility, especially in the field of space, medicine and the defense. These three are the sectors which are going to witness a significant boost and the boom from this Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha Muhurat, as well as we are also going to witness a strong economic growth in the India. So this virtually we are going to beat every estimates economically, and we are going to achieve a significant number of our economic growth over next couple of years. Last but not least, if I look at the chart of this Pran Pratishtha Muhurat, so the things related to spirituality, whether it's a spiritual tourism or whether it's there are many players in the company in the spirituality space, and it would not be a bad idea that we witness a unicorn from this spirituality space very soon to clubbing to our startup unicorn clubs. So overall, the chart for India and this Pran Pratishtha Muhurat is going to be something which will protect India from many adversity which the world might face in coming years. So this is definitely a step in the right direction at a right point of time and with the right spirit. And why I am saying the right spirit is that if you look at the India right now, any part of India you visit, the people are celebrating, the people are devoting in their own manner. Every temple, every places is celebrating. Most importantly, all the Yajmans, including the Prime Minister Modi, has taken that 11-day Anushthan or the rituals to their utmost core and have imbibed them significantly at their mind, body and soul level, so that they are ready, prepared to be the Yajman of this historic moment. So we are fortunate to witness this moment through our naked eyes, whether we are watching on the TVs or watching in Ayodhya. This is something which is unparalleled, and this is something we are going to tell in our stories 4 or 5 decades after. This is something we witnessed through our eyes. So this is a magical moment, and the magical journey of India has started from here on.
No, you're right. I think a lot of people are feeling a lot of emotions, a lot of pent-up emotions. Anupum Kher has just posted a picture with Talaivar or Rajinikanth, but I was able to speak with him soon after he just arrived in Ayodhya last evening. And it took me by surprise, ladies and gentlemen. I must share with you when Anupam sir actually suddenly broke down. He got emotional when I just asked him, what did you feel? What is the sense that you got when you saw the Murti of Ram Lala? And he is going to dress up. He told us here at CNN News 18 that he's going to dress up like his grandfather, Amarnath ji, because it was his dream to see Ram Lala Virajman. He says, I'm going to go dressed like my grandfather used to, because that is how I would like him to be remembered, or I would feel that he's also part of me as we attend the Pran Pratishtha. Listen into this conversation. Well, he's been making the rounds of all the Bajrangbali temples, perhaps in the build-up to the Pran Pratishtha. So let's ask him. He's an actor par excellence, needs no introduction. He's an author, and he's somebody who can tell you that whatever or anything in this life is possible. But Anupum Kherji, as I say namaste to you.
Jai Shri Ram.
In your lifetime, did you ever think that you will see the Pran Pratishtha of Ramlala?
I'm an optimistic person. First of all, Jai Shri Ram to your viewers also. I believe that things do happen. My grandfather Pandit Amarnath ji, it was his wish that Ram temple bane to he will be able to do, but he couldn't. So when this whole thing started and the Supreme Court gave its verdict, I was very happy. But a part of me was saying that I hope it happens in my lifetime. And it's happening. And it's happening in your lifetime and our friend behind the camera, his lifetime. And people who will be there all over the world tomorrow, whether on television sets, on any other platform, it's a big thing. And it's also sinking in now. You know, from celebration of Supreme Court verdict to the building up of the Ram temple, to me coming here 3 months back to Hanuman Gadi to launch my Hanuman Mandir program, to seeing the temple at that time and now to participating in it is euphoric, sentimental, emotional and very quietening. There is an inner peace. And the fact that everybody was told, at least when I was a child, that truth wins, that reaffirmation is a very, very satisfying feeling. That dharm ki jeet hoti hai, satya ki jeet hoti hai, that कर्म किए जा फल की इच्छा मत कर, ये जितना भी हमारे पुराणों में लिखा है, कितना सच लिखा है, कितना सच लिखा है कि 500 साल बाद और 90 साल की न्यायिक शैली के बाद ये सब हुआ है. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है.
आपने तो देश भर में हनुमान मंदिरों के दर्शन किए हैं and you've done a series on it also. What is unique? Why is this Hanuman Ram connection? Where does it happen? थोड़ा तो आपने भी इसके ऊपर रिसर्च किया होगा, कुछ एक कनेक्शन.
आई थिंक डिवोशन के इससे बड़ा एग्जाम्पल कोई नहीं हो सकता है. डिवोशन का जो हमारा रिश्ता भगवान के साथ है, जिस भी भगवान को हम मानते हैं, वो एक डिवोशन का होता है. पर हम क्या करते हैं, हम भगवान से कुछ मांगते हैं, कुछ अपने मतलब के लिए भी. हनुमान जी जैसा भक्त बहुत मुश्किल से मिलता है, मतलब है ही नहीं, संसार में ही नहीं, ना कभी हुआ है और ना कभी होगा. वो सीखने को मिलती है. दोस्ती भी, इट्स ग्रेट फ्रेंडशिप. मतलब जब प्रभु राम चले गए तो हनुमान जी ने कहा नहीं, मैं यहीं पर रहूँगा, मुझे यहीं रहना है. जब हनुमान जी का टेम्पल और साथ में राम जी का टेम्पल ना हो, या राम जी का टेम्पल और साथ में हनुमान ना हो, ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है. 3 फैमिली मेम्बर्स हैं, राम जी, सीता जी, लक्ष्मण जी, हनुमान जी साथ में होते हैं. और वो जो पूरी बात है कि मैं अपना सीना फाड़ के दिखा सकता हूँ कि राम और सीता उसमें बसे हुए हैं, ये कहाँ मिलता है देखने को. जो कहानियाँ हमारे पूर्वजों ने, मेरे दादाजी ने, आपके दादाजी ने हमें सुनाई थी, जो हम सुनते थे एज ए फैंटेसी, उसकी रियलिटी आज समझ में आ रही है.
We've just got news coming through and details of what is going to happen inside as the Pran Pratishtha ceremony happens. We're given to understand that at the time of Aarti, all the guests will have bells in their hands, and there is going to be a special Pushpa Varsha which will happen. It will happen from the air. And ladies and gentlemen, there are going to be more than 30 instruments. Yatendra Mishra ji, we are given to understand, has been coordinating this. But more details with Payal Mehta, who's getting us all the dope. So yes, Payal, take us through what all is going to happen. Why the bells in the hands of all the guests? 8,000 bells. Payal, can you hear me? Payal, take us through the information, please. Aarti, and you got all the guests are going to be given bells. What's going to be special? Some flowers from the sky we are given to understand.
Anand, we have been able to get these details from our sources in the RSS and the VHP, essentially saying that during the Aarti, since during the Aarti you always ring the bell, all the guests who are coming there will be given a bell and they'll all be ringing the bell when the Aarti is happening. So, and apart from that, also there is going to be a Advani which will be there for instruments which have been sourced from all over the country, and 30 odd artists will be performing the Advani to create probably a magical scenario over there, a very, very sacred scenario over there as well. And we do understand that the IF helicopters have been deployed to shower flower petals as the ceremony gets underway during the Aarti as well. So these are the arrangements that we are coming to know from our sources within the VHP and the RSS in terms of what the preparations are and what the Atithis or the special invitees are likely to witness.
Right. So 30 Indian artists who will be playing, 30 artists will be playing different Indian instruments, different places, but they're all going to play in sync just around the time of Aarti. It's going to be a spectacle like never before. Witness, Payal, thank you very much for that information. I'm just going to go back to Siddharth and Rangarajan Narsimhan. If Rangarajan, if you can hear me, I just want to ask you, sir, how would you describe the 11-day Anushthan, and more importantly, how Prime Minister has made it an entirely spiritual journey for him to visit all the temples of prominence which have relevance, relation, connection to Ram?
It is very important that every Hindu, every Sanatana Dharmi practices this Anushthan every single day. Prime Minister Modi ji has set a standard right now for all of us to follow. All the Shastras do tell that everybody should wake up early in the morning, should do prayers to do puja to their Bhagwan, should be doing japa and should be meditating, should be doing exercises, should eat sattvic food, etc., etc. And exactly this is what Narendra Modi ji has been advised by the pandits to continue to do the Anushthan for the 11 days prior to the Pran Pratishtha that is happening today. Like I said, we do all Sanatana Dharmis, all Vaidikas do this every single day, 365 days in a year for that matter. And this Anushthan of Prime Minister Modi has made it popular, and it will give a chance for every one of us to every citizen of this country to understand what he has done and then follow suit, and that is a very good thing for us. Secondly, your question on the Tirth Yatra of Narendra Modi ji it's very, very important. Tirth Yatra is something that needs to be done by everybody. Yatra is everybody does the yatra. When you say yatra, it means to visit places and to have holy dip in the rivers where these holy places are. The places become holy. The Puranas and Itihasa says that these important places, the holy places, the Tirtha places, have become pure, punida, because of the presence of because of the reason why the rishis and munis who has done tapas for several years have visited these places, and since they keep God in their heart, in their hridaya, these places become pure. And it is important that when somebody visits places just like Narendra Modi ji did, they visit the place, take bath in the holy rivers, holy waters, and then meet the rishis and munis who are there in the place and then get their blessings. And that's exactly what Narendra Modi ji has done.
Indeed. Rangarajan ji, I'm going to take this next question to Siddharth ji and ask him, does the Valmiki Ramayana talk about the time of birth of Ram? And does that not point to our understanding of astronomy and astrology, and this being an ancient science? A lot of people would call it bumkam. So I just want to understand, what do the scriptures say or dictate, and how accurate is it? Because many are also arguing about the date and how many years before. Some would say lakhs of years, some would say a few thousand years. How would you see that and interpret it?
So see, there are multiple parts to your question. The first thing is that at any point of time, there would be people who would be non-believers. So, and this is something which is a dichotomy of the world, that if we close our eyes, the sun doesn't set, the sun still remains. Similarly, Valmiki Ramayana has certainly the mention of birth time of Lord Rama, and this is why this is not a mythology, but this is history. This is something, the time our land has lived in the past, and we should respect our intellectual heritages. This is a very accepted fact and something we should really today imbibe within us. Any country do not flourish until or unless they respect their own intellectual heritages. So the intellectual heritages of Bharat is something that is going to make us that Sone ki Chidiya we used to be. So definitely there is no second point, there is no second thought attached to it, this birth time is not accurate or something. Valmiki Ramayana has a mention of it, and if you go to the original sources, it has been. And today is a day not to discuss on this, rather it's a day to accept and imbibe the greatness what our land has witnessed, and this is the time to be a gratitude. And as I always say, we are blessed and fortunate to be born on this land of Bharat, where the Lord have incarnated, whether be Ram, be it Krishna, or be it the other forms of Almighty. So we are fortunate to be born on this Bharat. Astrologically, definitely, if I go to Ramayana or other especially Valmiki Ramayana, there are mentions of nakshatras and situations which describes a different events. Even forgetting about what was the time period when they were going to schools, what was the time they were going to Gurukul, what was the time they went to Mithila to get married to Ma Sita. So everything is mentioned and correlated with the help of nakshatras and other parameters, and it is duly mentioned. There is no deliberation or there is no second thought attached to the same.
True, but there are many who have spoken about another aspect, Rangarajan Narasimhanji, and your thoughts on it. That Pran Pratishtha cannot be held in a still being constructed temple. Some of the Shankaracharyas have had some things to say, although now most of them have come around. So we'll steer clear of that. But this aspect of Pran Pratishtha, who should do it and when it should be done? Is there a hard and fast rule to it?
Yeah.
Because many would say that even Rama, when he wanted to pray to Shiva and to find a way across to Lanka, did Pran Pratishtha of Shiva, but there was no temple there then at that time.
The entire building of temples and the Pratishtha, Pran Pratishtha, the Kumbhabhishek, everything is strictly governed by the scriptures. But the scriptures differ from one place to another, from one sampradaya to another sampradaya. I understand, like I said last time, the current pratishtha is happening as per the scripture in a book called Pratishtha Mauktika. This is a book which is nearly 500 pages, and I have not gone through it entirely. But I understand that this is a combination of several sampradayas, several agamas, like Pancharatra Agama, Vaikanas Agama, etc., etc. And various aspects of the temple construction has been conducted as per the rules laid down in this particular grantha. Typically, all these granthas will command right from the place where the temple must be built, the physical structure, how it is to be built, the kind of murti that is to be installed, and the kind of prayers that is to be offered, like the different kinds of pujas on a day, and the kind of utsavas that is to be done, and how the temple is to be maintained. So, without knowing what is there in a particular sampradaya and in a particular grantha, it is not right for anybody to say whether it is right or wrong. We should give the benefit of the credit to the people who have actually doing the Prana Pratishtha, they are not just doing it for the sake of doing it. They have gone through these granthas, they have understood what is there in it, and they must be sincerely following it. A Sanatana Dharmi is supposed to sincerely follow the scriptures that is there in the Shastras, and I have no doubt that the Acharyavars who are doing the Prana Pratishtha is doing it as per their sampradaya, as per the scriptures that is there, which is commanding the way the whole thing has to happen. Having said that, these scriptures will decide when Prana Pratishtha can be done and cannot be done. And like I said, since they are pandits who have gone through this, I am sure the Pratishtha can be done. And even in South India, where the Agama Shastras are there, whenever there is a new temple is built, the temple need not be complete in several Agama Shastras, and it allows us to install the Moola Murti and then construct the temple as we go. For example, I am coming from Srirangam, and Srirangam is supposed to be constructed as per the Parameshwara Samhita of Sri Pancharatra Agama. This is supposed to be a Uttamottama temple, the best of the best, and it has 7 prakaras. All the 7 prakaras were never built on day 1. The Itihasa, the Ramayana says that Vibhishna got Sri Ranganatha Swami as a present during the Pattabhisheka from Sri Ram, and he had installed Sri Ranganatha Swami at Srirangam while he was going on the way en route to Sri Lanka. So even Vibhishna did a Pratishtha, and that Pratishtha very clearly says that it was not at that time 7 prakaras. This the Garbhagraha and the Pranavakara Vimana, the golden Vimana on top of it, were brought by together brought by Vibhishna and installed in Srirangam. The legend says that this exact Vimana and the Moola Murti of Ranganatha Swami was originally with the Brahma in Satyaloka, and Ikshvaku, the first king of the Ikshvaku Parampara, had done a tapas and then prayed to Lord Brahma to give him the Moola Murti, which he got, and then Rama did puja in Ayodhya and he gave it to Vibhishna. So if you look at Srirangam itself, that temple is built over several years, one prakara after another prakara after another prakara and after another prakara, and 7 prakaras, the complete prakara which represents 7 lokas, is available in Srirangam, which is the largest temple in the world. Srirangam is the Aradhya Murti of Sri Rama, and if with this example we can very clearly say that it is possible for us to build the temple as the time goes. Even if the Shastras even give us room to increase the structure itself. Right now the current structure is designed to have 3 floors and one prakara. It can extend up to 7 prakaras. Tomorrow it can go on and on and on and on forever, and we cannot be waiting for forever for everything to complete and then finish. So Shastras do not restrict anybody.
Interestingly, correct. And like you said, but whatever is the niyama, whatever you're following, you have to follow to the full. Don't do and complete that depending upon what you're following. Interestingly, yesterday Swami Amrita Swarupananda Puri was mentioning that there is a Chenganur Devi temple in Kerala which is forever being constructed, because that's what has been ordained there, that temple will forever being constructed, but the Devi is stapit there. So these are all examples which many would say to those who are trying to be detractors or naysayers. But let's set them aside, shouldn't we? This is a historic moment. This is something for us to enjoy, to savor and to be a part of. Because tomorrow when we look back, we would realize that we have been part of history, ladies and gentlemen. It has happened in our lifetime. Many have given their lives dreaming about it, hoping for it, fighting for it, struggling for it, and many today do not even realize what is it that they are getting. That's what many here around sense, that this is history, this is special, and that's why everybody wants to be here in Sri Ayodhya Dham. We're going to take a very, very short break. The coverage continues. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
इस दिन के इंतजार में दशकों से ये आंखें तरस गई, आएगा ये तो विश्वास था, अब जो तू यहाँ लौटा है।
स्वागत गान गाए जिसके लिए मन में गंगा जिसके हाथ में है, जीते भी मरते भी काम काज करते भी, सुख में दुख में हर एक मुख में गर जाएगी ना।
Netaji
are being allowed. In fact, we also had to walk about 500 meters, from the last sort of chalk, because they said that they wouldn't allow us beyond a certain point as well. So obviously security, we are taking no chances, and in a bit from now, probably in another half an hour, 45 minutes, this entire stretch where I'm standing at will be sanitized, because the Prime Minister's security will take over the premises, because the Prime Minister is expected to take this route to go to the temple, is what we are given to understand. But yes, it's beautifully decorated, even though there have been barricades that have been put in place. So if any common person is trying to walk, they have to walk past those barricades. Nobody is allowed to be on the main road, that we are standing on. But obviously, they will be making it more and more stricter and more and more tighter as the time progresses, and as we approach the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha period.
A lot of programs, big and small programs, people in a way trying to celebrate in their own way. Where are you right now, and tell us what's happening around you?
Well, I'm at Rampath right now, and it's a celebration of sorts, and there's this bhajan mandali which has come all the way from Madhya Pradesh, and let's allow our viewers to first soak into what they want to really present. Sir, aap bhajan ga sakte hain.
जय श्री राम श्री राम जय जय 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 राम
While they continue to sing, there are women who are coming here to perform. आप perform कर सकते हैं.
राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय
Shivani, today is not about speaking anything. Today is not about a day to pass any comments. It's just about a day of celebration, and everybody around here is celebrating in some way or the other. This lady who you can see in front of us is coming from Yogi Adityanath's home constituency, Gorakhpur, and she in fact trains a lot of women from the backward community in dance as well. आप बताइए, आप जनजाति के महिलाओं को ट्रेन करती है
डांस, फैशन शो, ड्रामा, एक्टिंग।
कहाँ से आप कह रहे थे कि योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने आपकी?
मैं वनटांगिया कम्युनिटी पे वर्क कर रही हूँ। उन्होंने हमारे सीएम सर ने अडॉप्ट कर रखा है, और उनको लेके मैं कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज में आती हूँ, फैशन शो, लोक नृत्य सिखाती हूँ, ड्रामा सिखाती हूँ, और हमारा सरकार हमारी बहुत साथ दे रही है। हमें जगह जगह स्टेज पे
वासियों के लिए कितना बड़ा दिन है, और यूपी वासियों के लिए कितना बड़ा दिन है, भारत वासियों के लिए?
लाइक हम लोग का जीवन सफल हो गया है। अब एज अ कलाकार, अगर हमें 22 तारीख को प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के दिन मौका दिया सरकार ने अपना कला प्रदर्शन करने का, तो मेरे साथ जितने भी कलाकार हैं वो जीते जी स्वर्ग की प्राप्ति हो गई है।
आप मध्य प्रदेश से आए हो। मध्य प्रदेश में कई सारे ऐसे स्थान हैं जिनको पूरी देश और दुनिया जानती है। राम, आज के दिन में राम क्या मायने रखते हैं भारत के लोगों के लिए और विश्व भर के लिए?
आज के दिन राम जी आज बहुत ही मायने, हम कह नहीं सकते हैं कि आज अयोध्या में ऐसा भव्य कार्यक्रम रहेगा, प्रतिष्ठा रहेगी राम जी की, ऐसा कभी सुना नहीं। ये मेहंदी घर से और राम जी के आगमन की खुशी में
शादी के जैसा माहौल है।
जी बिल्कुल, शादी का माहौल जैसे हमारे घर में शादी ब्याह रहती है और उत्साह के साथ में रहते हैं, उसी उत्साह के साथ में हम आएंगे।
Well, of course, Shivani, people, whether it's a celebrities or whether it's a common man, they've come in, अपनी श्रद्धा से सब आए हैं, because they all believe that राम सबके और सब में राम है. That's the kind of celebrity mood. It looks like a wedding sort of a mood that you see in Ayodhya here, even as we report. And of course, it's still dark. We can also show you that the Prime Minister's security is on that path. They are actually inspecting the entire path, and probably in a bit from now, the Prime Minister's security will block this entire area for access as far as people is concerned. So obviously it's a huge occasion for this temple town of Ayodhya, which is bracing up for one of its biggest day in the history of 500 years or so. Shivani, back to you.
Yeah, but Payal, I was about to ask you exactly this. How many people do you see around you? Because there are a few key arterial roads in Ayodhya that lead to the Ram temple, and all of them were, I believe, were supposed to be completely sanitized ahead of the Prime Minister's arrival. So, how close are people being allowed to come to?
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome ladies and gentlemen. History is going to be made today. It's a historic moment that all of us are going to be a part of. My name is Anand Narasimhan and I am representing the News 18 network here at Sri Ayodhya Dham, and we request all our viewers to stay tuned, stay glued to the News 18 network for the most comprehensive coverage, because in a short while from now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will touch down in Ayodhya. I'll tell you ladies and gentlemen, just about 3 years ago, in 2020, I was here just a stone's throw away from where I'm standing right now. I'm right on the banks of the Saryu River at Ram Ki Pauri here, and just a stone's throw away, I was there on a small tower. It was a watchtower of the CRPF that I was standing on, and we saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi do an aerial production of this place and then land here. Because since 1990, it had been nearly 30 years that he stepped here in Ayodhya, a promise that he had made to Ram Lalla in a tart, that he will come back the day, by the rule of law, he gets his rights. Ram Lalla gets his rights, he gets his Ram Janmabhoomi back. That's when I'll come back. And he came at that time on the 5th of August 2020 for the Bhumi Pujan, ladies and gentlemen. And today he will touch down again at around 10:25 a.m. for the Pran Pratishtha of Ram Lalla at Ram Janmabhoomi. It is historic, it is very, very significant, and it is of great importance for Hindus all across the world, all Ram Bhaks all across the world. This is an important moment. It is a moment where a 566-year struggle, where lakhs of people have given their lives. There have been umpteen number of cases, legally fought for more than 70 years in Bharat, that is post-independence, and in our courts since 1866. That's how long the legal struggle has been for Ram Lalla to get back his Ram Janmabhoomi, and that's the reason why thousands and thousands of people are making their way to Ayodhya, ladies and gentlemen, because they all want to be here in Ayodhya. There are 8,000 invitees who will be watching that moment when Prime Minister Narendra Modi will open the eyes of Ram Lalla, apply kajal under his eyes, and then show him a mirror and say, welcome to this world, this land again. And here you are, the divinity infused into this murti of Vigraha, which is a representation of the divinity that is Prabhu Shri Ram for all the Ram Bhaks, ladies and gentlemen. That will happen. Along with that, he will also go to that Kuber Tila, the Shiv temple not so far away. Aradhya or Ram used to pray to Shiva, and that's why in every Shiva temple there will be a Vishnu presence. In every Vishnu temple there will be a Shiva presence, because as per our scriptures, both complete each other. If Vishnu is milk, Shiva is dadi or curd. They are the same in different forms. That's what our scriptures talk about, and that will be manifest at the Kuber Tila, where the temple will also be inaugurated. There is so much that's going to happen. Helicopters are going to shower flowers from the air when the Aarti happens. All the guests, Payal Mehta just got us that story, that all the guests will have bells to ring, and they will all be ringing bells. And the Prime Minister has urged everybody to light a diya. I am talking about diyas right behind me. There are lakhs of diyas that are just being put together. They're all being assembled because this place is going to be lit up. It is going to be Deepavali today, ladies and gentlemen. Lakhs and lakhs of diyas across the Saryu Tat, all across Ayodhya will be lit this evening. You light one at your homes. That's the urge that the Prime Minister has made. That is what Yogi Adityanath has said. Yogi Adityanath, the Chief Minister, will be present along with the Governor Anandiben Patel and of course the RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat along with the Prime Minister during the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. There is a lot that we have to share with you. Right now we've got news coming through. There are those who do not want the celebrations to peak. They want to dampen it. That's what Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman, the Finance Minister, is also alleging at this point, because ahead of her visit to the Kanchi Kamakshi Amman Temple in Kanchipuram district, LEDs were removed from the event. The cops have said that there is no permission for LED inside the temple complex, and Nirmala Sitharaman has tweeted, "The repression saga in Tamil Nadu continues. A small village, not more than 200 houses where people wanted to celebrate and watch Prime Minister Narendra Modi participate, have been told that unless the district collector gives permission, they shall not install the hired LED screen. The DC is sitting on the matter. The LED supplier has been threatened. The village is the Karunilam district, Chengalpattu. Another, but a bigger village, LED permission is hanging in fire. Sengaperumal Koli district, Chengalpattu, all in the Chengalpattu region, and it is Nirmala Sitharaman who has tweeted about it, who has spoken about the fact that the villagers, the locals are not being allowed to watch, participate and celebrate. Purnima joining us live with more details. Yes, Purnima.
Well, if I can show you the truck behind, the LEDs have been packed and they are now trying to clear the place from these LEDs. These LEDs were fixed late last night, but the police had entered the temple at around 8 AM and they've removed these LEDs. Sir, ये LED को निकालने के लिए किसने बोला था, sir? So people here don't want to in fact respond to this, but remember, this is not the first time that the BJP has made this statement. Yesterday there were two places. One, of course, was a public place near the district collectorate's office. That in fact was also one of the places where there were 1,000 people who were all set to gather. Even their permission was denied. They removed all these preparations that were already underway. This time around, भैया आपने कब डाला था ये LED को?
4 बजे सुबह
4 बजे। और किसने बोला था आपको निकालने के लिए?
बस मेरा ये आदमी काम कर रहा है ना, वो बोला, इसको कौन बोला मालूम नहीं।
So police sources say they've not got permission for LED screenings here. This is something that Finance Minister had tweeted yesterday as well. But you can see, despite the fact that the LEDs have been removed from this temple, people are gathering in huge numbers to in fact participate in bhajans that are currently underway. But the screening of the grand event that's planned may not take place here because the district collector has not yet given permission, is what we are hearing, and they've removed, uninstalled the LEDs and they are loading it inside this truck, as you can see. Back to you.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's go straight across to somebody whose bhajans have enthralled us. When he says "Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Sham Sham Sham," everybody sings along with him, and he's been doing it for more than 4.5 decades now. It's a special moment for all of us, but perhaps it will be more special for you, Anup Jalota ji. Namaste. Jai Hind. This is Anand Narsimhan. Thank you so much for your time. आपको कैसा महसूस हो रहा है? आज तो एक बहुत ही खास दिन है।
आज का दिन बहुत विशेष है, ऐतिहासिक है। जो लोग इसे सामने देखेंगे बस उनका कल्याण है। बहुत ही बड़ी बात है उनके जीवन में। मैं अपने को बहुत भाग्यशाली समझता हूँ कि मुझे आज प्रधानमंत्री जी ने निमंत्रण भेजा है और मैं यहाँ पहुँच गया हूँ। अब रास्ते में हूँ और मंदिर की ओर मेरी कार बढ़ रही है।
अनुप जी, मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ, आपने भजन तो बहुत गाए हैं, भक्ति के भजन गाए हैं, आपने उनके भाव गाए हैं जो कि भक्त हैं, पर कभी ऐसे कुछ गीत हैं, आप तो अवधी भी बहुत अच्छा बोलते हैं, तो अवधपुर में क्या रामलला के गीत हैं, रामलला के भजन हैं?
रामलला के बहुत है। अरे हमारे तुलसीदास जी ने कितना लिखा है, अवधी में लिखा है। तो ये जितने भजन हैं उनमें हम रामलला के दर्शन करते हैं हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश में वही भाषा बोली जाती है। तो मैं तो उत्तर प्रदेश का हूँ, लखनऊ का हूँ। तो लखनऊ में ऐसो को उदार जग माही, बिनु सेवा जो द्रवे दीन पर, राम सरस बहु नाही। ऐसो को उदार जग माही, बिनु सेवा जो द्रवे दीन पर, राम सरिस को नाही, राम सरिस को नाही। ये सब अवधी भाषा है और इसी में लिखा है तुलसीदास जी ने, और हम लोग बहुत आनंद लेते हैं जब उनके भजन गाते हैं।
पर अनूप जी, राम इतने खास क्यों है, इतने, और रोम रोम में राम अगर भारत के कहा जाए तो गलत नहीं होगा, अतिशोक्ति नहीं होगी, ऐसा क्यों है?
मैं आपको बताता हूँ, पहले रोम रोम में राम आपको सुना देता हूँ। तेरे मन में राम, तन में राम, रोम रोम में राम रे, राम सुमिर ले ध्यान लगा, छोड़ जगत के काम रे, बोलो राम राम राम। अब राम क्यों विशेष है? क्योंकि राम ने हमारे देश की मर्यादाएं तय की हैं। भगवान राम का जब विवाह हुआ सीता जी से, तो उन्होंने सीता जी को कहा कि मेरे पिता की 3 पत्नियां हैं, लेकिन अब आज से एक ही पत्नी होगी, हिंदू की, सनातनी की। और देखिए, उन्होंने सीता जी से जो वादा किया, उसके बाद वो आज तक चल रहा है कि हमारे हिंदू धर्म में सनातनी एक पत्नी रखते हैं, जिससे कि उस पत्नी को पूरा सम्मान और पूरी प्रतिष्ठा मिल सके। उसके बाद उन्होंने कहा कि हम किसी राष्ट्र पर हमला नहीं करेंगे उसको जीतने के लिए। देखिए, आज तक वही है कि भारत कभी किसी पर आक्रमण नहीं करता है। अगर कोई आक्रमण करता है तो उसको अपनी सुरक्षा के लिए उस पर आक्रमण करते हैं और उसको ठीक कर देते हैं, फिर वो इस योग्य नहीं रह जाता कि आक्रमण कर सके। ये विशेषताएं भगवान राम ने हमारे यहाँ मर्यादित की, और वो आज तक हम उसे निभा रहे हैं।
अनूप जी, आज का दिन हमारे लिए क्यों खास है? आप दर्शकों को क्या कहना चाहेंगे जो राम की भक्ति में लीन हैं, जो राम को मानते हैं, उन्हें आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे आज? व्हाई इज इट स्पेशल टुडे? व्हाई इज टुडे सो स्पेशल जी?
Today it's very special day because more than since 500 years, more than 500 years, हम इंतजार कर रहे थे कि हमारे राम लला को उनकी जगह रहने की मिले। अभी तक वो टेंट में रह रहे थे, एक टाट में रह रहे थे, वो जो विवाद इतना चल रहा था। लेकिन अब वो अपने ठाठ में जा रहे हैं, टाट से ठाठ में जा रहे हैं। अब वो जहाँ रहेंगे वो उनका भवन है, वो उनका स्थान है। इसलिए हम बहुत ही प्रसन्न हैं, बहुत ही खुश हैं कि जो सपना हमने देखा था उसको हमारे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने, योगी जी ने इसको पूरा किया, और जैसा भवन हमने सोचा था होगा, शायद उससे ज्यादा ही अच्छा बन गया है। ये ऐसे लग रहा है जैसे उन दिनों अयोध्या ऐसी ही होती होगी। मैं तो अयोध्या पिछले 55 वर्षों से आ रहा हूँ, 55 वर्षों से। उन दिनों में लखनऊ में रहता था, तो लखनऊ से भी आता जाता था, फिर बंबई पहुंच गया, वहां से भी आना जाना रहा। 1-2 फिल्म की शूटिंग के लिए हम यहाँ आए। एक फिल्म की शूटिंग हम कर रहे थे, प्यार का सावन फिल्म थी। मैं, अरुण गोविल हीरो थे, और साधना सिंह, देवश्री रॉय उसमें हीरोइन थी। हम लोग 20 दिन यहाँ अयोध्या रहे शूटिंग की। तो अयोध्या से तो हमारा बड़ा पुराना संबंध है। आज की अयोध्या और तब की अयोध्या में बड़ा फर्क हो गया है। आज वो अयोध्या है जैसी हम चाहते थे वैसी हो गई है।
ये अनूप जी, सप्तपुरी में सबसे बड़ा इसको कहा जाता है अयोध्यापुरी को। आपने कहा वर्षों से आते आ रहे हैं, क्या अयोध्या का कायाकल्प हुआ है? कभी आपने सोचा था आपके जीवन काल में यू विल सी दिस मोमेंट एंड दिस चेंज, दिस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन?
किसी ने नहीं सोचा था, क्योंकि सरकारें आई गई, किसी ने इसको ध्यान नहीं दिया। तो हमें लगता था इसको ध्यान ही नहीं दे रहा, तो ये तो होने वाला है नहीं। 55 साल से तो मैं ही देख रहा हूँ, आता जाता रहा हूँ यहाँ। लेकिन एक अवतार आना था, ईश्वर ने सोचा हुआ था कि ये तो एक अवतार भेजेंगे और वो सब काम कर देगा। तो ये अवतार पुरुष आए हैं मोदी जी। ये केवल प्रधानमंत्री या राजनेता नहीं है, अवतार पुरुष हैं। इन्होंने आके अपने दिव्यता से, अपने कर्मठ स्वभाव से, अपने धर्म के प्रति निष्ठा से वो कर दिखाया जो हम लोग बस सपना ही देखा करते थे होगा। और सच में इतने अच्छी तरह किया है कि मैं मोदी जी को नमन करता हूं, उन्होंने काम करा दिया।
आखिरी आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट है, आपके मन में जो भाव है, जो भी आप अभी इस वक्त फील कर रहे हैं, जरा हमें गा के सुनाएंगे।
एक बड़ी सुंदर 2 पंक्तियां हैं, आपको सुनाता हूं कि अभी तक जो हो गया, अब आगे क्या होने वाला है। काशी बदली अयोध्या बदली, काशी बदली अयोध्या बदली, अब मथुरा की बारी है। राम खड़े हैं लिए धनुष, अब बंसी बजने वाली है। राम खड़े हैं लिए धनुष, अब बंसी बजने वाली है। मोदी जी शांत नहीं बैठेंगे इसके बाद भी। उज्जैन हो गया, काशी हो गई, अयोध्या हो गई, अब है मथुरा वृंदावन की बारी।
Anup Jalota ji, thank you so much. आपने जो भाव व्यक्त किए, I think many people will identify with it. Thank you so much for your time, ji. Thank you so much. Quickly, just shifting focus and taking the action back to Rampath, where everybody, all the VIPs, all the guests who are also joining us will also be coming through. They're already coming there. Aman has apparently made his way out of the media center, and he's walking on the Rampath towards Hanumangadi. How is the atmosphere there, Aman? Can you hear me?
Well, yes, Anand, I can hear you, and I'm on Rampath, and this is the road which all the VIPs are taking. There was, just shortly back, there was a stream of vehicles coming from this road. All the VIPs are taking this road down towards the Ram Temple. This road, Rampath, about a 2-kilometer stretch from here, goes to the Ram Temple. And of course, we have been stopped now from going there. But Anand, you can look at this kind of festive atmosphere in Ayodhya. These florals, decorations, the lighting, the dances, the excitement here in Ayodhya is unparalleled. I have not seen anything like this before. People at every nook and corner of Ayodhya on Rampath dancing away. The special dancing groups have come from all the way from far, and the mahal here is totally Rammay. This is the stream of vehicles you see going. All these are VIP vehicles, Anand. People, the invitees are taking this route now because everybody has to be in there by 10 a.m. So everybody is taking this route right into the Ram Temple, and people here clearly saying that it's a big day. There is a lot of emotion on the ground. If I speak to a few people here, in fact, who are just behind here, ये जो राम का माहौल है, अभी जो people trying to get into some way inside the Ram Temple, because the security has been tightened ahead of the Prime Minister coming here. But Anand, the feeling here, I was speaking to a few people here earlier. They say, okay, we don't have the Pran Pratishtha ceremony in white. That's fine. We just want to walk this road. We just want to get near the Ram Temple, because the vibe of this entire place has become totally Rammay. People say they can feel the devotion. Right. They can feel the Lord Ram is back. And that is the feeling with which many people are coming. And now the VIPs are all going inside, because the Prime Minister is expected by 10:30. Right. By 10 o'clock, everybody has to be inside. All the Bollywood stars are expected to arrive in a short while here. Anand, back to you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm just going to request our team that there is some report, and this is subject to confirmation, that in Srirangam also, where the PM did his parikrama, where the people are being stopped from doing the parikrama in Srirangam. So we'll just get this checked, ladies and gentlemen. It's not verified yet. I'm live and speaking to our viewers, so that's why communicating it via our channel itself. But we'll check on that. We'll check on that. It's not confirmed. But right now, Vishnu Shankar Jain and Hari Shankar Jain ji should be joining us. I'm just going to check if they are through. They're just on their way. They are special invitees for the Pran Pratishtha. They will be making their way. Hari Shankar Jain ji, Vishnu ji, can you hear me? Namaste.
Anand, Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram.
I'm just going to check. I think, yes. Vishnu Jain ji, can you hear me? Namaste.
Namaste Anand, Jai Shri Ram.
You're on your way. I just quickly want to ask you, I'm not able to hear you. Will try and patch myself back to the studio and back to the PCR. But Hari Shankar Jain ji, आपको कैसा लग रहा है? How special is this moment? आपका स्वास्थ्य ठीक नहीं है, फिर भी आप हट करके अयोध्या आए हैं।
जी जी, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है और लग रहा है इतनी बड़ी इतनी इच्छाएं थी जो आज पूरी हो रही, उम्मीद नहीं थी। बिल्कुल अप्रत्याशित, करोड़ों रुपया मिलता देश को मिलता, बहुत बड़ा काम हो गया सदियों के लिए। जी,
It's a very proud feeling for all the Sanatanis, and it's like celebrating a second Diwali for all of us. It is I cannot express you in words, Anand, the feeling which me and my father are having today in being part of this event. And I think this Pran Pratishtha is not just a Pran Pratishtha, it's Pran Pratishtha for crore Sanatanis, because we believe in Lord Ram, we believe in the ideals of Lord Ram, and today is the day that after a long legal battle, we are going to see this momentous occasion.
If Hari Shankar Jain ji can hear me, I want to ask him what is he feeling. You as a son were worried about his health, but वो हट करके आए हैं, तो मैं उनसे जानना चाहूँगा क्यों, why this thing that you have to be here today, Hari Shankar Jain ji? Why is it so important?
जब 30 साल पहले 34 साल पहले ये प्रारंभ किया था, उस समय उम्मीद नहीं थी, अंधकार था, ये उजेला देखने के लिए दिल तड़प रहा था, तो थोड़ा बीमार था, परंतु फिर हमने कहा नहीं चलेंगे जरूर, और आए हैं और मौके पहुंच रहे हैं, भगवान के दर्शन होंगे, और ये बहुत ही शुभ दिन पूरे राष्ट्र के लिए है, पूरे समाज के लिए है, और इस दिन को देखने के लिए 34 साल जिया है, एक दिन, ये कल्पना जी का ये दिन कब मिलेगा, आज वो मिल रहा है। आज ग्रैंड सक्सेस डे फॉर द होल कम्युनिटी, फॉर सनातनीज। जी,
कभी आपने सोचा था ये दिन देखने को मिलेगा? आपने तो बहुत ज्यादा प्रताड़ना झेली है, लोग आपको डराते थे, धमकाते थे और धुतकारते भी थे, आपने बहुत कुछ झेला है हरि शंकर जी। इसलिए मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं, आज आप उन सबको क्या कहेंगे जिन्होंने कहा था ये तुम्हारा कभी, ये क्यों लड़ रहे हो, क्यों कर रहे हो, ये जो आप कर रहे हैं इसका कुछ नहीं होने वाला, उन सबको आज आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे या फिर बस दर्शन करके बाकी सब वहां पे?
कभी हिम्मत नहीं आनी चाहिए और अपमान से डरना नहीं चाहिए। अपमान होगा तब मान मिलेगा, और हिंदू जनता को इसी तरह से आगे आना चाहिए ताकि जितनी मंदिर और हैं वो सबकी प्राप्ति हो। मैं समझता हूँ कि लोग उठेंगे और जगेंगे और अयोध्या की तरह सारे मंदिरों का पुनर्निर्माण और पुनर्स्थापना होगी।
हरि शंकर जैन जी, राम जन्मभूमि इतना इम्पोर्टेंट क्यों है? इसकी महत्वता क्या है कि आपने इतनी लंबी लीगल फाइट की है? दर्शकों को ये बताइए कि कई लोग होंगे आज ये देख रहे होंगे, हाँ एक और राम मंदिर बन रहा है, इसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? Well, we will try and connect with Hari Shankar Jain ji and Vishnu Jain ji in just a bit. They are amidst tight security right now. Going across to Kobi Shoshani, Consul General of Israel to Midwest India, joining us. Kobi ji, namaste. Thank you very much for speaking with us. You just tweeted, you said you can see history in the making. even though you are watching it far away from Mumbai, but you feel it's history in the making. Why do you feel so?
I was born in Jerusalem, and the temple in Jerusalem was destroyed 2 times in our history. And I can fully understand the narrative, I can fully understand the emotion, and I saw the people outside the street. It was emotional, outstanding presentation, and I was feeling in between me and myself that I wonder if it will happen also in Israel, something like that. It's very, very important. I have to congratulate India because this is a turning point of the Indian history. After so many times that this temple was destroyed and rebuilt, today it's a new wave and a new era to India policy, and I think that I feel part of it this way or another.
What do you think? You've been very closely associated with Bharat. What does this mean? And the importance of Ram. Do you believe this will also impact us as a nation, its consciousness, its approach, its posture?
Definitely today I think India is going to be a completely different country. And I think that country without history will not have a future. And I think that today, and I would like to congratulate as well your government and your Prime Minister about this very, I have to say, very dramatic movement. This is something that's going to change India for many, many years ahead. We are coming from a place that we are not hesitate and we are not shy to say that this is the Jewish state. And I think that India is a little bit more complicated because of the constitution, but I fully understand the love and the respect of the people here in Bharat, the love towards Ram, Lord Ram, and of course all the history of India is extremely, extremely important to the people. And I don't think that we have to take it into a religious place. It's something that we should look at it in a very different perspective, history and future.
Mr. Shoshani, the struggle to maintain your identity, retain your identity, to take back what is rightfully yours, there are similarities. But to make a legal struggle, a 566-year-old struggle, and perhaps one of the longest legal struggles, would you also say that a lot of it has happened very amicably? Yes, there has been violence, there's been a certain amount of strife, but eventually it's the courts that have upheld what many Hindus and people who believe in Ram have believed, that it is his place, it's the deity's rights, it's the deity's place. Do you believe this is also a beacon that our courts can adjudicate and resolve conflicts where other courts across the world have actually failed?
I have to tell you a personal story. I met the judge that made the decision 2 years ago in one of the Indian fantastic weddings in Taj Mahal Hotel. It was very extremely important and extremely fascinating conversation that I had along with him. And I think he was a brave man. He made the right decision. And I tell you more than that, with your permission. This is a photo that I kept in my room all the time. This is the temple. And I think without belief, without inspiration, without know your history, you will not have a good future. A nation without history is not the same nation. And I think India today moving forward to a very important step towards this recognition of your fantastic Hindu history, and I really appreciate and really like it very much. More than that, I have to tell you that I'm writing this day a book about India from Israeli perspective. And I read, and I make one of the chapters towards Ram Temple. And I think not because it's because was, in my point of view, extremely important to India. And I actually devoted one of the chapters to Ram Mandir, Sri Ram Mandir place. And I think it's not because it's of the importance of this place.
Mr. Shoshani, thank you so much for your time and thank you for speaking with us. It is indeed a momentous day. A lot of people will not understand the depth and the importance of what is happening today. It will perhaps percolate, it will translate, and those who do, They will all be lighting diyas right through the day till evening, because 22nd of January, ladies and gentlemen, will be yet another Deepavali. Before we go across to Mr. Rangarajan Natsaman, we just have an update coming in from Siddhant. Siddhant is very close to the grand entrance, the big dwar, from where most of the guests are making their way in. Siddhant, have most of the guests started coming in? It's 9:28 already. You just have only about half an hour now.
Was that question to me, Anand?
Yes, Siddhant.
Yeah. Yes, Anand. So right now I am next to Hanuman Gadi. In fact, I would ask my video journalist to show the viewers that look at this lane. This lane is going towards Ram Janmabhoomi, and all these Bollywood celebrities, sadhu saints, politicians are in the queue right now. And in fact, you see, this is how the scene is right now on Rampath. There is a traffic jam situation.